All right, chat. Boom. Alrighty. We are here. All right, I'm back. Let's just starting everything up real
I think he
quick.
made it, bro. He woke up at 11. He woke up at well, for him, he woke up at 59, Zach. 2 minutes ago,
Dang.
bro.
He's still warming up though, isn't he?
Bro, you don't got time to warm up. What I tell you, you gotta turn on that.
He's
PC
in a
and just
creative map right now.
How did he have shotgun and AR? He's so gay. Yo, genuinely, bro. He had one chest. He got shotgun, AR, and shotgun. Jeez, bro. No, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of fell asleep when I got that game. Yeah, bro. Fry's my shit, bro. I'm done with this shit, bro. I give up, man. I give up like Isaiah. Me and Isaiah give up, bro.
Don't give
Bro, I'm
up.
hearing that it's too good. Can't ever be too good, kid.
All right, let's play some games while we wait. Oh, yo, can you do me a favor actually real quick? Wrong website. You there? Hello?
I'm gonna turn it now.
Oh. Well,
What do
whenever
you
you
need,
have a
kid?
chance, I just want to see if you have this thing on yours or not. Whenever you have a chance. It's fine though if you're busy, so.
These perks. These balls actually give so much break. What the hell?
Alrighty, let's see how this goes.
You doing full victory cup? I mean, right?
Nah, I'm just looking for some pets. Or not pets, I mean sprites. Why don't I call them pets? Same concept. You still got that Roblox game open in your background or what?
I think I just been Roblox 24/7 or something.
There's Pigeon.
Yeah, hello?
Good morning, man.
Good morning, bro.
Oh, morning, bro.
For him, he just woke
Don't worry,
up.
Don't worry, this morning I had an alarm. I somehow turned it off and I woke up 30 minutes late for Central.
Not worse than me, bro. I'd probably snooze my alarm about 15 times. And this chest was looted,
Yeah, what
bro.
up, Brandon?
I could have been caught I see him.
Yeah, I remember.
They can't
you,
see my
man.
dart monkey, right?
Nah, they can't. Nah, they can't see that kind of stuff.
I just missed every shot, bro. I didn't warm up.
When did bro buy a dart monkey? What the hell?
Facts. When did he get that marking? Bro, I don't think I'll ever buy one of those. They're just like such a distraction.
Maybe to you.
Okay.
You didn't get no warm up, bro. And he's still gonna win, Zach.
Facts.
Who's
Pigeon's
him?
him.
Holy D1 glaze, bro. D1 glaze, bro.
Bro, I can't be negative, man. It's only positivity around
Can't
here.
support your bros no more, bro. It's the year you can't support your bros, man.
Nah,
Look at that shit.
not gonna be
Bro,
me.
listen, right? I just fought a kid, right? I literally can't fight right now. I just used all my mats. He ran away. Now there's another kid in my POI.
That's a bit rough.
Bro,
What do I do, bro?
Bro, you're
And there's
such a-
another kid in my back island. Why is there so many kids who go here, bro? Like, damn, bro. Get the fuck out of my POI.
Yeah, show them who's boss, Pigeon. Take them
Don't
all.
worry,
If you don't- Bro, if they ain't gonna fight me off spawn, don't fight me like after off spawn.
Oh, okay.
What about?
Listening, but yeah, bro. Fuck it. Where the bro, me and Zico are stomping them out.
What?
Already game placement, let's go. That's whatever you need to, Pigeon, by the way. Please.
Oh my gosh.
I want you to die from that.
Yeah, no.
You appreciate the follow, man.
I have to be yapping, so meet up whenever. Oh. Alright. Hey, we're 5 for 5 though. I shunted.
I'm chilling.
Over-
I mean. As long as I don't get fought here and I farm my math, I'm chilling, bro.
Fire 2 chug jugs. Okay. We have 200 gold left to buy what? 2 medkits or whatever it is?
Yeah, get that.
Bro, I don't know why my head says extra bad, bro. It's just cutting out every like 3 seconds.
That's bad, bro. Is it charged? Or you said it's uncharged?
So I don't need math anymore.
Whoever landed at Sunken did the worst looting job, bro.
Oh yeah, that kid's WK. Yep.
Dead.
Crouching. Now let me go to this kid's loot because that kid's WK, so he probably has max math. So this kid he probably killed, probably has extra mats on his body.
Yep, whatever, I died.
And I was right. Are you playing the cash cup, Zach, or not?
No,
You
I
don't have enough yet.
can't. I need a few more. Close, man, close.
Dare that kid to WQ me, bro.
I got an extra 900 gold, bro. I love it. I love life right now. I feel good, Zach.
Yo, you understand? My hand is, bro. I'm so cold. I literally put on a hoodie, turned off my AC, bro. Oh my gosh, I'm on. Okay. Like, bro, this kid W keys me, takes everything, bro. Bro.
Anybody that W keys in solo victory cups are low ping.
Yeah, that's true.
Opinion, I see why everybody on Japan servers is W key, bro.
Why?
Yeah, but
The
like,
record-setting fucking internet speed they have over there, bro.
yeah, but they
Heavy,
all
bro.
have that. So like,
Bro, it's fucking cooked. If you thought they
I
have like
pull,
negative ping,
nice,
bro, it's not
man.
even fair.
I don't have that one yet. I don't have a lot of the new ones, to be honest with you. I'm missing a lot of the new sprites. I'm just looking for some sprites right now, though, while I'm waiting for the
bro, you don't understand my aim, bro.
heats
I
to
tried to
start.
beam kids
I'm
before
gonna watch heats.
I tried to beam this one kid on my back island before I pushed him. I missed every single shot, and I had a legendary AR.
Give it to
A
you?
good one too.
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
The Warforged or whatever. Let's bro.
I'm gonna hot drop this game.
Oh, Richard, I guess you're shooting me?
My username's the same as my TikTok. And my
For
purple
110. You also hit me
She's
for 108 dumbass.
right down at the bottom.
Just try to full damage like what's kids are retarded, man.
my screen. Oh my god, I forgot to jump. Whatever, looks like I'm going wonky. Oops.
Still trying to kill me. Oh,
Alright.
you're up ping. Who plays like that, bro? I'm in Unreal. I'm gonna find right now though. I'm find this full of victory cup.
I'm like scuffed, it's not even emoting. Oh, there we go. That guy had like no loot.
Bro, I just need a striker pump. Where I fight this kid. Yes, okay.
He's not for sure or what?
Okay, let me push these guys.
Fucking gay fuck if you kill me. Dude, I might hate this region, bro. Oh my god, pro. Like, I hate solo because I think I'll play it again.
Get on. Out of my lobby, bro. Back to the lobby, buddy.
Bro, these lobbies are just like
Tell him,
old
Pigeon.
pub
Tell him,
lobbies,
go back
bro.
to the lobby.
Yeah. Back to the fucking lobby he goes.
Ooh. What level was this?
BRB.
You?
Who else would be BRB? Why would he say that for somebody else?
Oh, maybe he's reading chat.
So your internet feeling better now or what?
Yeah, it is.
Noise.
I'm getting 50 pinger now. W.
That's one thing I wish I had better. Ping.
You live like right there though. Well, I
I
mean, I guess you're
know.
like.
But I'm still at 25 ping on the West servers.
Aw, 25. Aw.
Yeah, but as close as I live to servers, I should get better.
Yeah.
Being like, what, like 3-4 hours away, I should be way better than that, no?
Not way back. You should be getting like. You should be getting like 15, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Or nah, maybe like 20, 17, something like that.
Bro, pistols are so good in this game. It's actually insane. There's no point in picking up the ARs. Like, all the pistols are good. There's not even a pistol that sucks. They're just all, like, so good.
Crazy. Now, surely they won't. There won't be a
my
little
God, I'm
burger
so
at my
bad.
POI.
Got muted.
I'll be
I was
in
talking
mute.
to you the whole time.
Bro, honey, just lock in.
Yo, chat, who's trying to
Nah,
play?
fuck that shit, bro. All these kids play like a fucking pub. Like, dude, fuck off. I don't know why the heck just pissed me off. He told me to log in, bro. Oh, dude, it's actually just annoying. Brother, I honestly did not make enough boxes, but dude, I don't even fucking know, man. I just hate West solo victory cups.
Literally, the only thing you could do, especially when they're on low ping, is make hella boxes and just wait for them to like do some dumbass like wide edit or something. Only thing you could do.
I saw this guy's old dude, so I went to it, right? But and then a whole new guy popped up, bro. Like I'm just like whatever. He hit me for 100, bro. And he just plays so confident, bro. I can't even get my chug jug off. Like I'm just a fucking ass player, bro. Like it's annoying.
Chat, anyone trying to join, let me know. I'm about to start the next game. Before I do that, let me do this real quick.
Please be shotgun or SMG. Okay, please be purple striker. Fuck you.
And just also boring because this is not stacked solos, bro. The way people play in end games is so boring. Like, I just wanted to have, I guess I'm not in stacked lobbies, but I mean, that was the first game, I guess. So W key. In a 40?
Ah, that kid, bro.
How did he lurk there? Dead ass.
Alrighty.
I'm so deep in Storm.
There's a
This
kid
is
behind me.
fries, bro.
Just sees me through my smoke, dude. What's the point of a fucking smoke?
Facts.
This shit is so ass.
How do I do this?
Like every kid just has max shockwaves to like run at you, bro. Like it's just cooked, bro. Like just kill yourself, retard.
Holy man. I was raging.
Yeah,
And
bro,
chillin' them, honey.
solos brings out the worst in me. What about that? What even are you showing me, Zach?
Oh, I was just gonna see if your key is on that website or not. There's a way that you can see if you have your
Oh, we 50 game. Locking in. There's no locking in, bro. I can't play against retards, man. Mentally ill retards.
Is Peterborough playing? Nah, Peterborough plays tomorrow. Peterborough plays tomorrow. Clicks plays tomorrow. Most of the good players play tomorrow. Okay, thanks. I'll watch tomorrow. Watch tomorrow. All right, bet. Yeah, tomorrow. Today's there's some good players today, but tomorrow's a lot of the better players. There's still good players to watch today, but still got a little bit until they start too. Got like 30 minutes, 30 something minutes. So I'm just chilling playing Fortnite. If you want to play, let me know.
Oh my god. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna win this tournament. I'm gonna get myself a new drop though. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna land wherever the fuck I want to land now. Go do the best way to qual. Do you hear me calling?
Okay. Be good for this game.
First chest, Chug Jug, Quack Snacks, and a purple pump. That's actually one of the most insane chests I've got. No way I got double heals from that. What? That must have been on the ground. But I swear there was nothing there. Two legendary chests here. Come on, give me an AR. Variety. Wait, both of my legendary chests give me double like heals though. Cause this one give me double big pots. Like what the fuck? That's actually insane, no, Zach?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, no? I never got that before like that. I already have 250 metal. I have a lot of brick and wood in my area, so that's very good. I'm going for a new strategy this game. Let's see if it works.
Good luck, man.
Shit, I'm gonna need it, bro. That ass. The luck I can get.
How many games have you played so far?
It's 2. It's not bad, but it's not good. I'm on my 3rd one though. Out of 8. So I can still play like my games out and be fine.
Is it the ones where you have to
Okay,
like
gonna pop a
be
black
top?
snack real quick.
Is it the tournament where you have to be like top whatever, and then you have to win a game and
Yeah.
you qualify, and then you have to win a game to win money?
You're bored, Charlie. Did you not make your rank, buddy?
Look, what? Honey, like, if you qualified, bro, you'd probably have a lot of fun in finals.
Can I tell you?
know?
I'm gonna 50-50 a chest every time. And if I win or lose.
Guess I get max full.
It's just like I'm getting killed. Like everybody's like fucking Peter, bro. Like, am I just a fucking chud to everybody? Like, fuck, man. My new plan, bro. I'm gonna land
Only
middle
of
map.
course, like a third party, bro.
I'm gonna land middle map, bro, and then just stay by the rift. I'm gonna carry minis, no? I'm done carrying 2 chug jugs, bro. I think I'm too ass with 2 chug jugs and solos. I just can't. I'm getting exposed for who I am.
It's not a bad idea.
Purple pump here too. Like I already have one though, but thank you again. Time to do the Zate strat, bro. Build
Mm,
hella fake boxes.
I believe, man. You got this.
Yup. Okay. Cool.
Alrighty, I'm at 11 of 14, guys. I think I did the one. That was the only tournament I could do today, or that I did earlier. So, okay, I've got a few more days left. There's one tomorrow that I should be able to do, I think, and then I'll be 2 left.
Oh, Charlie, dead ass fuck off, bro. Fine with, buddy. You shot me for 50. Are you gonna key me like you're Peter, bro? Like, are you good? You shot me for 50, bro. Just chasing me down, dude. Just fuck this tournament, bro.
Hey, you'll be fine. You still got time.
Yo, it's BBC Tony, bro. Barra.
Shoot. How we doing, Pigeon?
34 points. Okay.
Not raging as much as Honey, at least.
Yeah, is that a BBC Tony, bro?
You're lying.
Oh, not.
Would that be Stream Sniper? Well, I'll Stream Sniper.
Huh?
I'll Stream Sniper.
No, but I'll bring a shoe shot. I'm on anonymous.
What? That doesn't mean I'm not able to stream tonight.
On my stream, man. I use it on the offline Twitch account, but I'll take that shit. Like, I would get keep by him now. That's crazy.
What? Are we dead ass? Oh my gosh. Like, bro, some kid lands a house of Blumpy, right? Open a chest, get a blue stinger. I open the door, boom, pumps me in the head, bro. Of course he gets a pump. Of course.
Who would I? Why does that auto buy?
And I'm Chipcon. Let's go. Why did you buy Quack Sacks from the vending machine?
No, I opened the vending machine and auto buys a med kit, bro.
Oh.
I guess bro's complaining about a med kit.
Oh, I was trying to buy a chug jug.
Me and Honey accidentally bought a fucking Quack Snack and Attorney, both of us. And they're 1,500 gold.
Ooh, that's a bit rough.
Is this war, bro? I think it's close. And I get a.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
gosh,
lie,
I just shot that kid.
I thought I got a burst there. I swear in my life I did. And I just freaked out today.
YouTube 0-1X, bro. Someone search that kid up.
I'm not playing Soul Vigor because after today. The most boring shitty ass tournament ever. That'd be cool.
Post you, bro. Don't tell me to go to the vending machine, though. You know what happened last time.
I'm gonna cook you the final. I got you.
Take it.
Alright. You need to buy a chug jug though.
Oh, I think I just heard another kid here.
Build around the chug. Build around it. Don't matter. Always your top. Always everything.
Yeah, I know for sure a kid is, saw a kid go in greenhouse, so I know for sure a kid's there.
Trying to rank up right now.
I feel like he's camping something lurking.
I mean, let him camp. Why are you trying to find a kid in a building? You're always gonna get a
I
shot
don't
up
think
on
he's
you.
in the building, but... I see him.
Oh, I'm
He's
dead.
chasing the kid.
So much. Just get up in your face, bro.
I know, he's fucking making sounds too.
Act like you're not used to mine.
No, I swear yours doesn't make sounds for me.
Mm.
Alrighty, I'm here watching 2Page now. Okay,
I bet, bro.
you got this, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, bro got every single fucking barrel is greedy.
Kick out of the band before. Hi, I'm done playing that shit, bro. Get me off that fucking game. Holy fuck, I'm a retard. Yeah, I don't care. Hey, let me just quit that tournament, bro. Go ask for souls, bro. All these kids are fucking.
Need some brick. I didn't even get enough gold to buy a second chug jug. I guess I'm gonna buy shots anyway. Where I can get gold here. Hopefully shots.
That's just already quit
please.
playing, bro.
Right.
You almost have enough gold.
Yeah.
What are you trying to buy?
But yeah, well now I only have enough gold for a chug jug or shots. Like I need 1,050.
Get shots for now. Unless you get enough. Oh,
Oh.
you got it.
God chest.
Why is Discord quality so garbage?
Because neither of you are gonna give me Discord Nitro.
Yeah, we're good off that.
Not that bad, man. You just complain about everything.
Oh.
Good quality.
Wait, Pigeon,
Put me on the game. I'll
leave
log into like
Discord notifications on your monitor?
I'll log into like Twitch, bro, and be on 180p, and then I won't notice for like 10 minutes.
Oh, what was that?
You leave your Discord talk notifications on the top.
Yeah.
You know that causes you to get less FPS, right?
Yeah, but like slightly. Fuck out of my gas station. This shit's mine.
Extra chocolate, no?
What? Oh
Go
my
back.
gosh, I'm going back.
It's worth it. Just throw it again, and then you can pick up the 2.
I thought you almost missed it again.
Fuck is this formation? Fucking tree rock. I just box up here.
Starting to get a lot of placement points. What do you think Qual's
Trying to
gonna
get
be?
20.
What? Qual?
Yeah.
Like 170, 180 maybe. Hopefully I can end with 100 points this game, at least. I have 2 kills, so it should be easier.
I just have like one of those insane games, bro. Remember back in the day when you'd have like dud games and then you'd have like one insane game, and then get back up into like the top like 200, and then you would like lock in. And cool. So get the top 3rd, buddy. Alright. See you.
You can put on socks really quick, even though I'm probably gonna shower.
Oh, a lot of people Qual top 800 for this.
Yeah, except there's like at least 10k people who play it.
Yeah, I do see that. 10k plus is what
Okay.
it says.
Wait a sec.
The person
Let's
at
go.
first is at 136.
Yeah, fuck that kid. Hope he's in my game. I'll key the shit out of him. On Honey's chat's life. I'll key him.
Bro, is this your music, Pigeon?
Is what? No.
Oh no, that's the Fortnite broadcast. Never mind. Bro, they play the
What was it? Some
weirdest
like
music ever. Like, why do they be playing that?
no one is boxed up here? Like, bro, this is what Honey means, bro. All these West solo kids are actually brain dead.
Yeah,
Why is
one
no one
plays like
boxed up here?
no one plays like a tournament should be.
I know. It's not like a pub, bro. I can't play that tournament.
Are kill points even worth much?
Yeah, there were 2. That's like kind of a lot.
Alright, Pigeon. Wall is 180. Last week.
Like, you really need top 3 to like start getting like actual good points per placement.
My top 3 just 1 more point than the one before. top
Oh, my
5
audio is
less
so annoying.
points.
It's actually giving me a headache, bro. Should I go for the supply drop? Don't I have any extra metal, bro? Guess not. Ah! I want this kid to go. Fuck it.
Little free tags.
Let me chill.
Every game, at what zone is this?
Someone's spraying with me, bro.
Bro, you're in a 35 player lobby. Big ass zone.
People are king.
Now you're less ping now, Pigeon. You're 52.
I know. I was
51.
talking to Zach. That kid just got fucking. What is this kid? Yo, what does this kid think he's doing? I looked away for 1 second. You know what? I'll be nice to you, bro.
That's all, bro.
Psych.
Yeah.
Genuinely fries. If he takes my wall,
Get out of it. It's zero ping, bro. You can't fight those kids, man. Oh, just ridiculous. You're in, buddy. Dude, you have really good mats. You have 1,208.
You're in a good spot
You
right now.
barely built any box.
I don't like these kids shooting me, bro. You know what? Let me just let everything.
Bro, deadass, don't. If somebody box up next to you, do not edit your metal walls, bro. Deadass. They just have lower ping than you, bro. They're
I
gonna
took
take
the
you
same.
back.
I took the same peek. If he took my wall, I was just gonna instantly shock.
Got 2 shocks left. Just remember.
There's a vending near you. You do have 3 in your gold.
Yeah, bro. You should have
But
seen
they're
the
already taken.
boxes, bro. You should have seen the
Yeah,
boxes
no,
next
it's
to it. I don't even want to
They have,
edit,
like-
but
It's all brick. Kid's been there. Kid's been there about those. Unless the kid that is on it is already has them up. There's actually a sweet metal spot underneath by that one you can destroy.
Of course, this guy's emoting.
next hole.
Bad right. Roger.
Brick behind you, not your wall, is it?
Yeah, but
Doesn't matter. The guy's already full.
do I use my last shockwave, honey? When it
Yeah,
opens,
oh
or
my
do I
God.
just sprints?
You use it. If you kept on going, I would say no, but you didn't keep on going a little more. You use it here, okay? All right. Up, go. That's how you want. You have really good mats, so 900, bro. You honestly don't need to grin anything, bro. You have so much mats. You're good. Down this higher layer.
Fully rotate. Oh, nice.
Just stay up, bro. Stay up. $40 brick, 100 metal. You're not on yet. Nice, you got 30 extra metal.
Chill on me, bro.
Vertigo, I already have.
After this, look for a higher layer, bro. So get to zone easily and have good builds and then fight somebody.
Top 8. Nice.
106 on him. You get a 120. 22 builds left.
Huge.
Nice. You have hella mats, hella mats. Keep build everything right here. You have 32 builds. Build.
Five people.
Let's stop that. You still have hella builds, bro. 22 builds. 14.
Ah, that's it. So
Sure,
still a
pay
good game.
attention.
Good game. You hit your goal. You wanted 100+ points, right? So
I should have paid attention, bro.
Yeah.
I thought
I don't
that
think-
could add like a max chug plus like more. Like I thought I was gonna be
But-
able to like kill him.
Don't shoot metal walls back like that. That's
Yeah.
a full metal wall. You can't even get. That's not even like
Nah,
if it's brick. If
my
it's
thing
brick,
was,
you can
I
shoot that.
thought he maybe had like
metal?
100 chug and he was popping it for so long. I thought he was just gonna like edit out. I would have gotten a free kill.
Yeah, he probably had
If I paid
600
attention, that kid hops my box. I just pump him in the head, bro.
That guy's ass. That's the guy. You fought that guy earlier.
That's
too.
a kid. Yeah, I know.
Travis Scott time? It's Travis Scott full rears. I'll say what that's going
I don't know where it is.
It's down. He skipped it.
you're
Down second.
you're in 188th pigeon.
193 now.
I mean, he's in white call. You just need 180 is call, bro. You need 72 more points, and you have an hour left.
Was that 4-kill game? Yeah. So I got
Wait,
what?
click on that again.
What?
Hundreds plays game.
Okay.
I've never seen that.
No, that's a game, right? Bro, I fucking
Yo,
managed to
that's a
just get
game
the
right
chest,
there.
get a blue stinger, run in the door, boom, instantly blue pumped, bro, or
Mhm.
pumped in the head.
Dude, I've never seen 100 plays. Like 99 is always, but.
Let me take
Wanna
off
check
this
the
fuck
photo
ass
again?
dart monkey. The other day I was looking at it, I didn't even mean to equip it, bro.
Yeah, those things in competitive are just annoying.
Trust me, I know, bro. Honey uses it every single game.
Don't forget to turn it off. Nobody ever tells me anything.
They're just
I don't even notice.
distracting.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
They're distracting.
I guess you have like 7 pickaxes favorited.
I'll be right back real quick.
Wait, go to Cup P. Check your friend list again.
200.
Variety.
Jacob's actually doing decent. But I mean, he only has 3
I
games.
guess
left.
Isaiah's not though.
He only has
Wait, where
3
am I at? I don't see you. What the hell? How do we go to this one?
games. Yeah, wrap it up, bro. Can I get a game?
Which points did Jacob have?
Water. Jacob is in like he has like 85 points, 84.
But he's probably in a game. Are you
You know
in a game,
Cassidy's
Isaiah?
coaching him? Fortnite.
Sure, what, bro?
coach. Cassidy's coaching him in Discord.
How does he have 7 kills?
Is that good?
Yeah.
He could be
Well,
fragging,
I
bro.
guess he's played 5 games.
He could be fragging and shit, bro.
Bro, I died in 2 endgames by kids like just running in my box. Just to die from other people.
Fuck, that actually could have been like a top 3, bro. Because that kid would have died in Storm. That's top 4 minimum. And I would have killed that kid. So that's top 3 minimum if I paid attention. That could have been a top 2 or a win, bro. Fuck.
I just didn't want to talk over because I didn't want to talk over when that kid was gonna break into your wall. So I was gonna tell you how that's like it's gonna be later. I mean, it's only bad because he was in full metal though. Like if he's anything else, you kill him, probably. But yeah. Are you caught?
Yeah.
Wait, Pigeon, you never open those fruit cages? They give you like apples and one mini every time now, I think.
Yeah, I know. I do sometimes. They don't always give you minis. I should start opening those.
Because you just missed one.
That's true.
I mean, and the peppers are kind of good early game. Just move around faster and loot, you know?
Yeah, they actually are. It becomes.
Apples are actually crazy good right now, too.
I know. They get like 15 or 20 on them.
W coach. I don't know. I just know that they're super good right now, so I'm just like... They're like the best they've ever been. You saw that one? There's one like outside the house where you entered the roof. There's a fruit cake thing. Also, I don't know if you know, you should do the... Wait, does the fountain actually work in this or not? Ah, that sucks. I know it's in ranked. That's kind of dumb that they don't have that. I feel like usually they let that stuff happen. Because you can play the game in wonky still or no?
You can.
Then why the heck is the wishing well on that thing? That's dumb.
Yo, someone's died of fall damage. My glider wouldn't equip.
How'd I miss that?
I just said the most retarded name too. Chase Mustang, bro.
Bro, I need to stop shockwaving up. Like,
Yeah, you got beamed. I also feel like you kind of waited too long to shoot him.
Yeah.
Like I think you could have had a few more shots in if you shot him like just a little
It
earlier.
was just so ash right now.
Please skin, bro. Sorry, man. I'm not giving people skins. What? Did you see the Mecha Chameleon map that is putting like malware on people's computers?
Ain't no way. What the?
It's
fuck?
like some laser tag map. So hopefully none of you guys downloaded that one.
Yo, that'd be bro. That'd be crazy too. In like streamers' lobbies, like they pretty much have to download it, right? Because if one person has it, they have to download it. And bro, they probably have so much shit on their PC if they get access to that. Like,
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I think. Yeah, some laser tag map on Mecha. It's like putting stuff on people's computers. That's scary. Cause you know a bunch of people probably downloaded that too. You know.
Get off that game now. What Zach would say. What about the if you have installed? All of them are good though.
That was the only one that came up with malware. Steam's the one that found it.
Dude, they gotta lock in.
Yeah.
I gotta lock in.
The developers gotta lock in.
Let's give the fucking bot to me, bro.
Facts.
Hopefully, this is the only kid I'm conned with. I'm
Yo,
about to
him,
keep
you got
fast.
this guy.
I'm gonna get this
You
gun.
should have play out this game, play it one more, and then you could fall early, bro. And not the whole time fall early. But
I'm gonna get chug barrels.
you don't gotta play a last minute game for fall. You guys are waste.
Yeah, he's gonna be at least 170. perfect.
I just got our match account. That kid last game just outmatted me.
Yeah, but you want to catch that guy before he catches you. You have enough for a chug jug already.
That becomes.
Nice. Got 6 shocks now too.
I got the fucking loadout of doom.
That guy just
He
went
gets
right through
that?
your wall. That's
That's
rough.
actually like, I mean,
Nothing
if he
you can
doesn't
do
get
about
through that, I actually shit on him. Bro, ain't no way he gets through that. Oh my gosh. I hit him 152. And he pulled out his like pickaxe as he killed me, I swear.
No wonder why this guy's FPS is so bad. He's got clipping software. He's got Discord overlays on.
What? Bro, that pullout time is crazy. Watch this, right? He pulls out. Oh wait, no, that's a Maven. Never mind. I thought that was a pickaxe.
Yeah,
That's the best phasing bro has ever hit in his life. Genuinely.
Alright, that game's over. Move on. Alright, you really got to lock in for these last 2 games, though.
Yeah. Oh, check what qual was.
I think if you get to endgame this game, Pigeon, you go for height, bro. You just fuck, dude. These kids are ass. If you have shockwaves, go to height. Stop looking for low ground layers. Low ground layers are so grief. Everybody's gonna take your fucking walls. You stay on height. None of these kids know how to play this fucking tournament, bro. You're way better than everybody. Like, you know how to keep crush. You know how to tarp. Like, you know how to like. Well, just keep on height, bro.
What place do you need for like 35 points?
I'm gonna go
Or like 30, like 6 or 7.
Well, you start earning top 50, so it's 1 point after top 50, so
So top 40 only get 30 points.
I hope I'm off spawn this game, bruh. I mean, I hope I'm conned.
What? Let me just lock in.
Bro, actually. I mean, next time I guess I just like play safe, but bro. His greenhouse. I guess the kid's here, bro.
You don't got a full commit. He's playing like a chill.
I see him.
nice. 85. Huge. And yeah,
Golden
shotgun.
apple.
Yeah, those things are garbage. I'm not gonna lie.
No, they're not. They do 50 HP. Pop it. Wait, what? Did they nerf them? They used to do 50 shields for me.
No, they only have whites, I think. Because they're apple.
Yeah, and it gives you like the rock effect.
Nah,
They're okay.
wait, that's so weird.
He's taking a one for my buck.
Maybe they can only give like whites or like shield, if that makes sense. Not both.
Yeah, like one.
Because I swear I remember it gave me 50. And I swear I remember it giving me shield, but I could be totally wrong. What the next one? Let me,
I don't know.
make it
I think they're kind of mid.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just a pop, right?
I like this kid. He seems good. And he's shocking me. What? How'd he just get in, bro? These kids are just phasing in on me every single
That's
time.
unfortunate.
Bro, I genuinely thought he's outside the box after I pumped him.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Bro, it literally looks like he just teleports in.
Nah, he was like,
He's
as I
phased.
edited, he ran in. But who just plays like that?
Solo victory.
Like, he's
cupcake.
not even using a shotgun. Like, he's just spraying in. He has a legendary AR.
Like, I mean, I solo victory cup kids on 0 ping, bro. Every time.
Well, that's so retarded. So now I need, like, last week qual was 180, so I need like a win. Oh my
What's your-
god. 108 for the one game remaining.
You need like what, a 6 kill win? 12 points.
Or I'm at 110. If I win, I just qual. But, well, no. Yeah, I need like a 5 kill win.
Is it?
Oh, there's 5.
I like you stay in like the zone, to like fizz zone, right? And then you get some food from 1 picks. Let's say you're in all the whole time. W supplies.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Hey, positivity, lock in.
Maybe next time get your games up, bro. Like,
Give it last game and the game before, I just died to some unpredictable bullshit. Like, it's my fault, but his dash is unpredictable.
Hey, this is your game right here. Forget about those games.
I think you just like, dude. I think next time you have a really good game, just play full save. Like if you kill it,
Bro, this is my
off,
last
after-
game.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this one, but you can still win this game. So. Or get a 10 kill second. Right, kill second.
Maybe if you get a kill, you just try to get out
6 kill
or play a
second, I
little
think.
safer.
Or a 7 kill second.
10 kill second.
Nice. Sorry, man, I don't give people skins.
I get a striker pump maybe? Please game. Nope. Don't give me a striker pump then. Fine. I don't need it. I see him.
Trigger bump. Nice. Pretty sure you have enough for a chug jug also.
But right, so we're playing horror games as well.
He's W King. I'm third partying now, I don't care. I need to.
I'm gonna grid this vending machine. Wow, I'm just so dumb. I just left that up.
Oh, he has a chug. Now he's max health. Fuck.
I mean, you could back out and get a chug too real quick.
What can't I build? Dude.
That's
Why are you laughing?
Bro, I'm telling you, solo victory comes from no skill. Like, I don't know how to explain it, dude. Like, I want like a real solo thing to come back.
No, not no skill. That game, I'm not even mad at. I mean, I'm mad at how I died because of math. But bro, the last two games I had, bro, they were genuinely unpredictable fights, bro. Like no, like
Is that cope or is that genuine, man?
that's genuine.
I was asking.
It would be cope if I said that about this game, but
Even if you're the one trying to force it, there's a lot of space, and that's why
feel
you
like
see
that,
the
dude, I
disengagement
feel
coming
like-
through. The big question, Monster, is how much
mean,
surge did those guys
Like,
actually
as soon as you
throughout
learn to
that
get the chug
integration?
jug, why would you get out?
Just jump on
You
board
want to take
Day
it?
and Passion.
You don't
You
think you
guys
should've
remember
gone-
Day?
I don't really
For
watch
me,
it.
this is
Like, I feel like you don't always have the best. Like, you see the chug jug, get the fuck out of there, get your chug jug like Zach said.
Mira and reverse.
Like, I wasn't watching.
yeah, but I was
Just to see
also
what he
maxed
can pull
out.
together here. We're always talking about a lot of those OGs coming
So,
back
bro,
together with some of the
not
newer
really
players.
that
This is a chance to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw
I don't know. I think once you got down in that
Just
water, you kind of
I
just
feel like
cooked
the water
yourself.
sucked, bro.
Yeah.
stepping up.
The water
and
did.
going with it today.
I just said that when you were in the water and you
Okay.
were like screaming, bro.
Alongside
Fighting in water sucks.
Real Seal. A little bit of a standoff right now. This is going to go into a pure box fight here in a couple moments. For the SRG duo, though, they're going to come down to the low ground and take their time right now. But they've claimed a good amount of the mid-layer territory, so that extra bit of control, Cade, is going to have to be a bit careful here. And you can see
Bro,
they're
now there
cautious
isn't
to do
anything till
further as well. They don't wanna
last chance qualifier,
overextend and like to
bruh.
give their damage lead away here.
And Honey's gone.
Yeah,
He's
so
gonna
the
be
team, though,
locked
Jacob,
in,
they're
bro.
just kind of patiently waiting, looking for an opportunity.
I said, and
Yeah,
Honey's
that
not
kind
even
of
gonna
puts
be locked
Cade
in,
and his
bro.
duo up top, and in a situation where if you want to fight
Okay,
this,
hold
you
on.
can, but you have to drop down below. You
You
have
can
to
be
try to
lucky
play
where
for
the
piece
fuck I
control,
want, boy.
which
How
kind
about
of
that?
takes a lot of time and leaves you open to quick edits. On the flip side, though,
I'm
it
watching
looks
Game
like they're
One
just
right
going to go
now.
ahead and disengage. They
I
don't want
don't
to take that
have any
risk.
cash
Just looking
cups
at the
anymore,
minimap,
bro.
only one of the two
Huh?
up top used a
don't
shot wave
have
to
any
try to
cash
create
cups
distance, so
anymore.
they might be trying to bait him out of position, so that way
cash
realize
cups
up
they
at the
should bring
top
back,
and try
yeah.
to land some damage.
And make it like top 2000
Cade's
qual.
just gonna go and bust a move
If I ever
here
get
to
the
the
button.
outskirts.
Exactly.
Team's
That's good, maybe.
kind of chilling up top. And they're just gonna let them do it. So Jump over with Yuz and Sharkman. It's an exciting team right here. This is one that obviously has had so many FNCS appearances.
You do
in
one more
the past
shocker. I don't give a
themselves.
fuck about that rotate, bro.
Very confident team, one that is familiar with the set lobby environment. What's the strategy at play here? So we're going with a nice wide rotate here, just kind of playing into the storm pretty heavily right now to make their way towards the mid-game layers. But take a look at this. Tank, after the disengage from the last fight, just no breaks here.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any easier. Sometimes when they hear those reboots, it's a green light to go. They know at least one player has absolutely nothing in their inventory, so they're trying to use that as a big advantage. Jackson Plasma just sitting up above, crouching down, trying to hide the audio visuals while they attack from two different sides. Stars ends up in the box, but only for a short second. Good damage pouring out from the duo, but they need HP. They need the elimination. Else this will continue to happen. One down's going to go through, but not enough to get the elimination. Jax Plasma, they stand 10 toes tall and get both of those eliminations off of the Wonky Knight.
Played it well. They win the fight. It cost them a fair bit of material, so luckily for them, they'll have that zone favor here to go in and get comfortable once again. And look, Jax had nothing left, by the way. 0 builds left. That's how extended and drawn out the fight was. In the end, they come out on top.
Victor V.
It mattered most. Victor V and Queasy on the other side going straight to the sound and true strategy. We highlighted those mythic items that they would be battling for. It's going to be Victor V you see every time with it. Queasy knows very well that Victor is his fragger, and he puts all the trust in Victor to step up and handle things when the time comes.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, and the way they actually ended up uncontested at this POI, if you guys remember, Cole and Madden were kind of landing. It was a different variation of the map, but towards the same exact spot. And when Queasy and Victor V first teamed up, they were fighting it out until Queasy and Victor V forced them to move. Cole Madden also in this lobby, landing at a triple contested.
Bro, I put a cone in his box. I put a cone in his box. Wait, did my cone not work? Cause
earning their stripes here in this lobby. And this might be one of the only teams they really have to worry about in this sense of taking damage. Liam and Jace, they have that high ground at Lifty Lodge. It's one of the main points that you can see over the spot where Victor and Queasy are at.
Talk about Cole and Madden. You know, what's really interesting is that if they don't find success here, they are likely to try their hand back at Victor V and Queasy. Now, do keep in mind, Victor and Queasy hadn't seen them at all during scrims and practice leading up to the heat, so they're really not expecting them to, you know, come back. But you never really know if someone like Cole and Madden have a hard time. You know, no one wants to be triple contested, right? You're better off likely taking just a head-to-head clash with another familiar drop. So this is going to be really important that they do well here.
Hey, we got Rogue and his duo on the side, just tossing some shots in this direction, making it harder for everybody involved. Lucky's just being forced to back up along with CRZ. Cole and Madden doing a good job of putting down pressure here. Not landing too many shots, though, so not super building that confidence up as Lucky just continues to scramble around, trying to create some space, but that's the same thing that does him in. They catch an opening, and they catch him slipping.
Big elimination right there to go ahead and give them a nice little bit of an advantage here, and they needed that, too. Little siphon, extra, you know, material count here to play with. It's a perfect position to be in now, so they'll be able to bounce back.
See who wins
Familiar
game
name
one.
here, Oliver OG. You guys are wondering who his teammate, 2X Belly Boss. That's X-Pon. Him and a player that played in yesterday's Heat, Doxy. These guys qualified out of NA West, actually, to the Summit Land. And it was their last game of the day. They needed a win. They punched out that win and was able to play on LAN at the Summit. But now teamed up with Oliver OG, who actually plays a lot of NA West as well. So you can see why a duo like this would form. But sitting here now, they're in zone, but only 69 above the damage threshold. Even if they stay above the damage threshold for this zone, sooner or later, they will fall below if they don't connect with more shots.
Yeah, we've seen that happen time and time again. Some teams do better with adjusting their strategies. Others never really seem to find the confidence to figure it out. I bet it with Sales and Vert here. Seen Sales this week, working hard, getting his practice in. Alongside Vert, this is a pretty interesting team. Vert's always someone who's like a sleeper pick. Comes up out of nowhere, performs when you least expect him to. Remains kind of in that conversation, so like how they're off to a strong start right now. The single elim, but we know, Jacob, it does come down to a lot of placement points, right? Like, if you can make your end games, you'll be set up.
Go shower
to
and
have a
stuff.
smooth day.
I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
it's just tough. Even though it looks like they're doing well now, you just really got to see what the edge of that zone is going to look like. It's not a lot of damage for the amount of time that they're taking, but the longer and longer, just like Curly here, along with Tyler, even though they're a little bit closer, the more likely that edge is going to be crowded. But you see it pull towards the north. More than half of it is
Pigeon was at
already
like
in the zone. So if you have
106
enough
with
medkits,
3
chug
games
jug,
left, and
you can choose that
he
as your spot, wait for it
just
to open
got
up. It's an investment
very
of your
unlucky.
resources early on in the game, but it's an investment that might pay off if you consider that's the Lifty Lodge Mountain. That's a good amount of high ground,
but the
so
mom
it might
keeps
be worth it in the
making
end.
him get off.
Yeah, well, now we're getting to that half in, half out zone. Getting deep into the tournament run now. Tyler, Curly have quite some time to go. You can see the zone's really starting to add up, though.
106.
They only had the big chug jug there to work with for now, at least in Curly's inventory. Meanwhile,
What's the
Dan
jig
Passion
at
on the
right
move here, 3 below. This is a rough
No,
spot
he
to
had
be
to
in. You have
key
the
his game
team
because he had to go
they're
somewhere.
fighting while they're trying to move here. This is really important that Day puts some
It's a bit
damage
rough.
down here so Passion can buy a little bit of time to get his make it off. There it is. He's going to be able to cap off, but doesn't take the time to pop his shields. He does it out in the open. This is so risky. Oh, if the team behind him was any more accurate, that would have probably been his game there.
Yeah, it almost looked like for a second, too. They fell below and almost took active surge. So every 7 seconds, 25 damage if you're below that threshold. They did just enough to get 3. You see Cole Madden, they're taking active surge as well. They have to fight the first team that they see, and this is going to be them. One shot's going to connect, but both of them drop to 7 or less HP. They get above the
Holy
damage
cow, these
threshold,
guys are
but
so
at what
low.
cost and for how long? Because now they fall 51 below. One strike at all it takes. There's no knocks when it comes to that amount of damage. It's just straight eliminations, and they're officially on the clock.
This is crazy. Now, Cole and Madden, you know, this is a duo that actually met at the last summit in person, and, you know, they did well kind of in the practice room, but look at this. Coming into heats, you see that the pressure's on right now. It could just be a tough game 1, and we'll just have to see
Dang,
what they
that's
can do
crazy.
later as the Surge ends up sending them right back to the lobby. But Vixie, Sky Loves Jesus,
110 right now.
heard what happened up top. They saw those elims go through. They thought about going straight for that loot, but Sky ends up falling to the Surge. They probably should have jumped into that box and taken a fight, but they tried to play for the heals instead.
Yeah, especially when it's that low of a number in terms of damage. One shot to connect. You do see teams trying not to get desperate and try to play very, very calculated. Noxy and Dash doing the same thing, only 40 above, but only peaking when they have what they feel is a
There's
guaranteed
not
shot
many
to
people
connect.
above Storm
You see
Surge
them
right
tarping
now.
out, using almost a lot of their materials to try to give themselves a safe rotation.
things
Because
like
you know,
on
when
watch.
you're on that line for Storm Surge, a shockwave could be one of the worst things to do.
So everyone starts to focus
Okay,
on.
illegal, like.
You see
There-
Victor
I
V,
was
Sequeezy
doing it.
already positioning for a bit of that high ground. They're the highest elevated
Acorn.
team right now. Acorn and Bolt on the other side.
They're
Sitting
above a
comfortable
lot.
as far as damage and activity in this game goes, but taking a lot of
You
damage
hear
here
Sounder
on this
now.
rotate. Already gone through about a third of their material count.
I mean, he just
And
gets
a
a
good
shotgun off spawn and
chunk of their
keys me.
heals, it seems.
He gets shotguns and
Bolt
shotguns
has
and
got the
keys. Like,
rest.
I don't even need you to share screen anymore, bro. I was just gonna watch during my last game.
Shadow and Virgos, a little bit too close to comfort against Bolts.
That's so
Acorn,
lucky.
anything could change, especially if the zone pulls further
Like
and
he had
further
a,
away.
like if he had
Now, I
shotgun
talked
subject.
about the mythics, and the biggest difference in the
I
mythics
die?
is when you take down a boss for the actual weapon, it's 100% guaranteed. If you're playing on
I
these
would've popped the
mini
minis too
games,
first, bro, if I
you're
didn't
getting that
use the
bare
minis,
minimum
so
a gold striker pump. So Virgo, either way, still winning, but 123 below. He needs to start putting this loot to
Dang.
What the
work.
fuck?
You don't want to find too far below the damage
Virgo's
threshold.
low,
You really
low.
don't have heals to deal with this type of pressure. So
Well,
you have
he's
no
pushing
choice but to go.
Acorn,
Now
which
Storm
is
Surge
probably not the
activates.
best
That
idea.
damage is
Well,
definitely
you
going to be
first said
scary,
the
but they're
fuck-
finding
how
shots
does
left
the
and right
thing
up
have
until
like the
now.
ability to do
Virgo
that?
takes a haymaker.
God
It's
damn,
Acorn
bro.
and Bolts. I said it was
That's
too
why
close
I'm
for
just
comfort,
like,
and now you see why.
Fortnite, it's
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say, of all the teams that could have been next door,
Dang,
it's a
Acorn
tier
getting
1
some
duo.
big kills.
Like, that is not the duo you want to just fight box to box,
just wanna
especially
bucket.
with the pressure being on their backs and Acorn and Bolts come up on top.
Hey, this is a way
It's
better heat than
Bolts who
yesterday.
lands the
Oh, sorry, way
monstrous
better.
opening shot there. Just like that, that entire fight turns around. As we jump in with Victor V with a quick knock here too, doing exactly what they promised us. And that's making it to end games and positioning up
Victor
on
V.
these high ground positions. They're really trying to define themselves as the high ground team here. of the entire lobby, by the way, of the entire region, and that's what's really exciting
What
about seeing
skin is this?
Queasy
What the hell
pair
is
up now
this?
with
I've never
Victor V
seen it
here.
before.
Isn't it like a Jonesy
matter
version?
If they win game 1 or they end up in game 5, they're gonna go for high ground game after game.
It looks like a
after game.
That's
Jonesy
not
What
type
Jonesy.
Queasy's
of
Jonesy's
known
thing.
for,
blonde.
and it's what
That was
Victor V
blonde.
is ready to attempt. You see him trying to guarding the
Brother,
backside of the
that was
zone, making sure
brown
nobody
hair.
can lurk around and try to make any sneaky shockwave plays on towards height. And you see Queasy on the other side, making sure to
been
reinforce
Victor
their
V's wearing.
position
It's
in the
blonde, are you
clouds. That
sure?
way, it's not
I
an
thought
easy
so.
chop if anybody looks up.
Here in a
Well,
beef, think
blind
about
is a
it too.
bat,
They can
though.
see that monstrosity of a base in the distance there. As the zone's about to load, it'll start sending us in a direction or the other. We'll see where this is going to end up cutting. It's going straight towards Victor V and Queasy there. Very favorable. Aviv and Veer go with the early rotate here. He makes it over the builds. And on the outskirts they go. I'm looking at the wide shot here, though. You can see Bolts is a little bit damaged there, too. I wonder if they're going to have heals to bounce back. But first, we jump in with Mason and Miro. This is where we want to see what Miro is capable of. He has the track record, the history of popping off in endgame. And he's almost like...
Yeah,
He's
Savage.
almost has the history of how we view Cold today, right? Just show up, put in the work, do big things in endgame. That's what Miro's legacy was before he stepped away.
Yeah, that global championship under his belt. He's not
Bolts
the
and
only
Acorn
one in the
looking for
lobby that can
kills.
say that. Acorn and Bolts underneath, 400 above. Only 2 players going down. Will shirt off Storm Surge, so it's almost a moot point for a team
Can
like
we get a
that
Miro
that's so
Cold
far above
2020?
the damage threshold. But you see Aviv and Veer once again trying to get to the front. They run into Sleazy and
Dang,
they
Victor
make
V is
a
still
fight
chilling on
there, but
height.
They're able to catch their balance. Tyler and Curve staying elevated. And you can see, even only one player needs to go down, they're still playing with Storm Surge in their mind, trying to go ahead and surprise attack onto Sharkman and Yuz. Even without finding success, they're staying on a momentum.
Been sleeping on
Oh,
Acorn
Curve, that's
right
not
now.
Curve, that's
4
Curly.
eliminations, not too shabby with how much more of this end game is left in front of us. 40 players plus remaining here. Comes their way, kind of fighting through this low ground layer, looking to elevate themselves up. And still, do keep in mind, you have Victor V and Queasy kind of sitting up top, pressuring all the other teams. So Bolts and Acorn making the right decision to stay low and kind of out of that line of pressure is working out well for them so far.
Just gotta wonder, when will that time come? If that time will come, because Queasy Vic, they're doing a good job of putting pressure down from above. Not really getting anybody a chance to look up. Aviv and Veer staying strong at the front side of the zone, but this is where their loadout and material count are beginning to
Oliver
look
OG,
a
bro.
little weak. Pushing through the
Where
build,
you at?
yet it comes in. Another shot's gonna land on the Yuz, but not a confidence building one. His
Oh,
Bolts
no.
does go down. Acorn trying to save the day here. He does have time, but is it enough to actually get the revive?
I think Bolts just took a little too much storm damage right there. Meanwhile, Tyler, Curly
Bolts
finding
goes down.
knocks and
Like,
eliminations here
oh my
on their
God.
layer. And already we see shockwaves in their inventory too, but no material count, so high ground's out of the question here. This is desperate. Tyler bounces back. No elimination there. They were hoping to get the refresh, and there's a lot of options in front of them. Meanwhile, Victor, Queasy, what's this, 3 or 4 zones worth of high ground hold right now, and it's going up and over the mountain. This is very favorable
And
for
Victor,
them.
we got the
They
pistol,
might
bro.
be punching their way out with an early ticket here today.
Yeah, and he's been
Yeah,
sitting
the
on
easy
high ground
B
the whole
players as
time.
Mason gets another one in the backside of zone. A much needed
the
elimination.
best high ground
Siphon was
idea,
important
bro,
for
in the
keeping him
game.
alive. Marrow's in that same situation, but he has
Ooh.
the shockwave up and over. Lands one shot onto Victor V,
Oh,
but
what
cannot fight that one out. It's just a warning
Come on,
shot
Miro.
for Victor V and Queasy as he
Miro and
continues to go
freaking
up
Mason
the
are
side
dragging
of
it.
this
Oh my God, go for the
mountain.
height.
Since they are so high up, they
Come
have
on,
more
keep
than
the
enough
shot
time to
there,
try
bro.
to get healed up before
This
the
is
inevitable
Victor
clash
V's
Yeah,
game
happens
to
Victor
in
goes
this
win.
down
game.
the...
Acorn's by himself.
Nah,
Another
for life, that's
elimination.
like an easy
That
win
one
for
on
Miro and
Zavert,
Victor
and then
V here,
a
dude.
follow-up. Let's go,
see.
Acorn. Finding his back-to-back eliminations
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh,
Making
Acorn
a
going
three-piece.
crazy.
Can
Oh,
he get more?
holy.
Absolutely. And that is onto the young prodigy, Victor V there.
Getting
Victor's trying to
chased down,
scramble
but
up high. He
okay,
doesn't
hold
wanna
up.
give him any more than he
Bro,
Oh
has.
Victor
my God.
V,
Okay, Acorn. Who you feeling like?
Yeah, Acorn going crazy there.
Acorn wants...
Bro, what happened
I mean, he's
was
not known as a
Bolts
crazy
went
fighter,
down,
but
Acorn said, yo,
he has his
hold my
moments.
chug jug, I got this. And he just went on a frenzy. Almost everybody alive
That was
in this game is
insane.
a solo except for one team, and they might be down below because Queasy also is
Acorn,
solo
the
on
IGL
the
though,
high ground,
7
getting
kills though, okay.
overtaken by Acorn. He has over 500
Queasy's on high ground by himself
materials left.
now.
Even as a solo, it seems
Look,
like
now
a
this shows
winnable
who's the
situation here.
fragger
but he has
was,
to go
bro.
through
But he
the
got
interview on
killed.
the front
Oh
side
my
of the
God,
zone.
Acorn's going on
Yeah,
high.
definitely an excellent
Hold up.
showcase by Acorn to take high ground using them
I think
shockwaves
last time they
perfectly.
played,
He's
it
just
Oh,
all
big
over.
knock.
And then he gets another knock. Acorn is just playing
I don't know if
exceptional
Acorn's gonna play for the
Fortnite
win
right now,
here.
but
I don't
Queasy's
think he
still
wants to
alive
win.
inside the storm. Acorn's doing
I don't
all
know,
the
though.
dirty
He's going
work for
crazy.
Queasy listening to what's happening here.
No,
Acorn
last time
now
they called,
recognizes
they
what's
actually
going on,
won.
but the
And they like
siphon
posted
comes
on
through.
Twitter. They were like
Jace tries
laughing
to
about
pick
it.
up the siphon material, and now
Cause they freaked
Acorn
out.
still has
He
to
looks
worry
like he's
about
going for
Queasy
the
on the
win, bro.
backside of the storm.
Yeah, but Queasy has options here. Does he go to one of
Queasy,
the
I don't think
machines,
Queasy
or he
wins
tries
this.
to interrupt this fight. Still almost more than half of a chug left. Jace is literally living on a prayer. Where's the other solo at? Distract Acorn. Do what you can. He's probably screaming ear to ear, but Acorn is holding his own up above, even with those eliminations. That was just the boost of confidence he needed, but the chop comes in. He saves
Acorn
himself to
popped
make sure
the
he
fuck
doesn't
off,
take
bro.
that fall damage. And he's the
Abula might be
4 health player
fucking
here,
primed right now.
relatively at least.
What
so
a kill.
gets another elimination onto Jace. Two of the greatest IGLs
Bro.
of all time now going at it one-on-one for a trip to the grand finals.
Well, Queasy doesn't
Oh,
have a lot
shit,
of HP.
Queasy
Acorn's
or-
just fired up right now. A great low ground shot.
GG.
Here comes the next one,
The greatest.
and Acorn does it by himself.
That was a crazy game. Acorn
Yeah,
went
Acorn was
insane.
moving,
We've
bro.
ever seen of Acorn's
That was
career.
different.
He just
Holy
does
shit.
it again, and he keeps
That's
the streak
crazy.
alive of qualifying to the grand finals with an
Yeah, I
actual
played it.
game win. He's not here to really play around.
I
He's
done that,
here
bitch.
to prove he is one of the best in the game, along with Bolt. Zeke.
Yo! Acorn win! Bolts win!
Oh
That was
my
insane.
Gosh. Oh, Vivid, I think was Acorn your MVP on the fantasy league, by the way?
Acorn was my MVP on the fantasy league.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're up on points like crazy. Acorn! Acorn just Kelly. Was that the best?
They got their Fortnite
like,
fantasy
was
league,
that
bro.
the best solo clutch
I didn't even know
you've
that
ever
thing.
seen out of Acorn? Oh my
I've never heard about it. Maybe from Melody or something.
Yes, I would like to apologize. At the start of the show, I was talking about how there's these veteran players that fit into the IGL role and they pick up fraggers because they can't get Elam. That is not the case for Acorn. My goodness, so he put
Bro, this is like a
that whole game
highlight
on
reel right
his
here.
back,
Just one
and
game.
to just see him get Elam after Elam, but also to play it so patiently. That is really what separates it.
Yeah,
We've
he's actually
seen
killing
these
some
people
very good
get into
players
those
too, bro. What the
situations,
fuck?
and they look like they're
Yo,
just
Virgo,
running,
bro,
you know,
Shadow.
chaotically, but Acorn was so
Victor V,
methodical
bro.
in that in-game Vivid. It looked
What
like
did Bolt
like
do?
nothing
Oh,
changed
his job
even
did
when
not
it was
work.
Bolts.
19th place is when Bolts went down, and Acorn went
Nah,
all
he
the
took down
way,
Vert.
the absolute distance. Actually ended up winning this game.
Sharkman, like,
How many elims
I don't really
actually
have the guy
happened
back.
in that specific one-by-one on
Victor
the
V
ground,
right
and
there,
after that,
obviously.
he just had so many
And
materials.
I
You
think he
gotta
killed
imagine,
Jace,
right?
too.
All those materials that he got. So many
And then
elims
maybe
being
Vic-
right
I
there,
don't
which
know.
is why he was able to kind of build crazy. But
Well, he
you
was
mentioned
fucking
it, Kelly.
2v1ing
It was
Liam and Jace,
a
bro.
lot of
That's a
respect
land
for
team right
Bolts'
there.
name for his mechanical prowess, but Acorn was moving on.
Oh, yeah, he killed everybody. Holy shit, 11
Different.
kills.
I don't know what he had
12
for
team kills?
breakfast
That's
this
hurt
morning,
out.
but 10 eliminations and a solo clutch for Acorn to win game number 1 of heat number 2. Listen, I
Acorn
am
was
definitely
dead ass
biased about
moving,
this one,
bro.
but I am so happy about how that game went for him.
Just to
That was
know,
insane.
Like, it is that one spot, Viv, right? Like where everyone's
Looks
going,
like
okay, this is
crazy,
like
yeah.
the low ground. We gotta make our way through. Like, this is maybe safe. It's not safe. Acorn has just perfectly created a little window of like, come on in, everybody, just gift me all your materials, gift me everything you've got. I cannot. Acorn, you're just built different, bro. You are just built different. That was game number 1 out of heat number 2. For Acorn and Bolts, we will not be seeing them until next weekend, but that's a taste of what you can expect then. For now, a break. When we return, we'll break down more of what we saw out of game number 2. We'll see you soon.
That was crazy game. I'll be right back real quick.
Savage, you calling?
I didn't call him?
Do I have? Actually, I don't know if I can call this game.
Lock in the game. Lock in.
I have
And don't
126
type in my
points.
chat so you're called, buddy.
build no.
Wait, if you're mid, wait. 100. 100. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do you think I should back up for my next game or no?
How many points do you have?
Like after a while, 126.
Huh?
126.
Why'd you back out right now? How many placement are you in?
66.
Hold on, no, play that game out. You have 18 minutes. So much time. Why does everybody in Solo Victory Cup play that shit like a pup, bruh? I don't know. Like, yeah, dude. Solo Victory Cup kids are different. That sounds like exactly what somebody would do. And then somehow wins the fight, too.
Fortnite fam, I'm still reeling from game number 1. If you missed out, if you're just tuning in, okay, I need you to go back. Do me a favor, sometime when you have time, go back and watch game number 1, okay? Watch it like this, okay? Watch it like this. Okay, all right, like this. All right, because Acorn just pulled off one of the craziest solo clutches we've ever seen from him, okay?
Take
They're
height,
gonna be
don't
moving on
die,
to next week in
Savage.
finals. Congratulations
Just
to them.
take height,
Bummer
don't
we
die,
won't get
bruh.
to see them anymore today, but that's okay. Good for them because now they can just focus on next weekend's finals. What else happened in that game, though? We saw it kind of come to this 1v1. Acorn versus Queasy. I have to give so many props to Queasy, the way he decided to play out that last bit of the end game. Just super deep in Storm, like knowing exactly, hey, how much Storm of, like, can I actually take? Waiting to the very final moments to try and take this 1v1. Obviously, we kind of saw Acorn also take out Victor V at one point, Kelly. So Acorn playing spoiler to the whole plan, but
Ooh,
man, a second place is still very, very good.
Definitely a great game from Queasy there, and honestly, it coming down to the two most highly regarded IGLs in the world and potentially the history of all of Fortnite.
Yeah, that was a
Having it be
crazy
Queasy
first
and
game.
Acorn in those final moments is just such a beautiful cinematic moment for Heats. But of course, Victor V and Queasy, they are not done just yet. They played that end game pretty well.
Oops.
Obviously, it did not ultimately go the way that they wanted, but they controlled high ground pretty well until those final moments where Victor V unfortunately did go down here a little too aggressive with trying to take all this loot, and that is one of the risks when you have high ground, right, Vivid?
Yep, without a doubt. I mean, obviously, at some point, you do have to go ahead and drop down and get some of that refresh, but I would say that this was a very good game for Queasy and Victor V. I mean, you kind of talked about it already, but their control over the high ground, how many times have we seen in a very similar meta that we kind of saw in Major number 1 with these overdrive grenades, or even in Heat number 2 just yesterday, how many times have we seen high ground kind of change hands in these sorts of metas? But Queasy and Victor V, them having control over the entire end game, I think it just speaks volumes to how good that they were doing at conditioning the lobby with their position.
So sick, dude. So sick. Taking height as early as 8th zone and only giving it up for just a moment because Acorn was just decided this is going to be my game. I'm going to go absolutely sicko mode. Also wanted to highlight here Aviv and Veer. I keep wanting to say Veer. I don't know why. My brain, calm down, brain. Aviv, Veer. Doing really well in this last game, right? A 5th place with 6 eliminations. We're currently looking like we're trying to target that consistency, which is chill. I'm just excited to see. Maybe they can pull out a VR. Maybe. I'm curious.
Yeah, as far as just one game out of 5 goes, getting this many points is definitely setting yourself up for success. It definitely seemed like they were kind of sticking to the mid ground, which makes me wonder if they were just a little nervous about all the action that was going on in the low ground. As we can see here, Aviv was picking up a few eliminations. Unfortunately for Veer, going down without being able to bring too much, but Aviv with this solo clutch, able to bring in a few more points, a few more eliminations, and honestly, when the end game doesn't go your way, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly, we can't be making points, by the way, about how these IGLs, these experienced players, are kind of picking up these young guns, and then the IGLs are the ones that keep clutching and ending up with all the eliminations. Like, I don't know what's happening today, whether or not it's opposite day, but so far, man, we're seeing these experienced players and IGLs perform on a whole nother level.
Today is definitely different, right? Like, I don't know what everyone's thinking the same thing. We got to start preparing ourselves for finals. I also wanted to tip my hat there to the team in second place, Liam and Jace. You guys talked about them at the top of the show, and now they are currently in second place after just the first game. Like, obviously, we still have 4 more to go, but Kelly, this was a really strong showing of heat number 2.
Yeah, who's gonna win the next game?
I mean, that was just game number 1, which is crazy that we literally got Acorn versus Queasy for game number 1 of Heat 2. Everyone was like, oh, this is gonna be the most boring Heat. Maybe not.
Yeah, we had, I mean, Queasy run around as a solo, Acorn run around as a solo, like 2 of the most experienced IGLs in the game. And then you look on the logo and you're like, oh, look, it's Liam and Jace, completely new to this scene and kind of have barely made any FNCS finals. I was like, yeah, these guys, man, they are going to struggle against the experience.
Man, oh man, can Queasy bring it back, right, and get a VR in game number 2? It's time to find out. Game number 2 is ready, casters. Over to you.
Thank you, Zeke and Monster. I gotta agree, that being game 1, I'm not sure what other surprises we can even expect at this point, but that goes to show with Acorn and Bolts no longer in the lobby, Frosted Flats has just opened up.
Yeah, you know, it's really good for the likes of the rest of the lobby, right? For us, selfishly, listen, I can check out right now. That was a great clutch. We love to watch exciting Fortnite, and that's what makes these weekends so special. This is what we look forward to on the FNCS stage. So, you know, for me, I feel
Mecca
really good.
tweeted.
I'm ready for game number 2 at this point.
No, I definitely am. You know, seeing
saying that the game's 100% safe, and that the only computer that got compromised is one of their admin computers. Everybody else is fine.
Playing with Queasy, you have Liam and Jace, you have Aviva, you have players that are still swinging for the fences to try to get that spot, whether it's through a win or through consistency. And Acorn and Bolts is one of those teams where you know they would get in win or consistency, so they just alleviated some of the pressure from the lobby. But let's get ready, because game 2 is here.
That's right, and for Queasy and Victor V, you know, the job is really not done, right? You still have Cole and Madden in this game. So if you really think about it, the bigger picture, I think this is working in their favor, right? All they need is enough points to be consistent, and then their focus might actually just shift in making sure that Cole and Madden don't make it to grand finals. But I don't know. That could be me just thinking that the bigger play here is that Queasy maybe didn't want game 1 to be overdone that quick.
I mean, practice definitely does make perfect, especially when you're playing in a set lobby against some of the best players in all of the land. But this contested fight ended a little bit quicker in that last game. You know, one team taking the low side, one team taking the high side. It looks like Krampus and Louis are just kind of working their way on up. I'm not sure where the confidence is coming from, but they definitely at least have a loadout that they think they can fight with.
Yeah, definitely have a bit to work with here. Not too many materials, though. Shockwave's going to come out. Who's going to be getting the better of the tag? Xylo finds a huge shot there on the side, and he loses his teammate in the process, though, so the exchange is not exactly worth it, but all sides are desperate here as everyone's starting to run out of material either way. Louis, Cramp do just enough to push in the walls there and get the elimination, so the hotel is theirs once again.
See, little Tekka skins coming out in 5 days.
Drop. That was all they managed to get last game there, Jacob. Just 6 points here coming into game number 2. We've seen teams, though, fly back up. Yesterday, it was Dozier and Ishu who were around 16th place or so in the last game. Did enough to qual all the way through. I even saw Ishu tweet there, Jacob, that I think he disconnected. His internet went out, and it was Dozier who clutched up.
Yeah, and just kind of in these games, depending on where the zone pulls, kind of dictates how you have to play certain situations. Right now, the zone's not too far away, so for both Blue, Maj, they can go ahead and continue to fight this out. They know Passion maybe separated himself a little bit too far from Day, and that's going to use that moment to try to push. Good damage onto Passion. Day has no shields. There's a huge advantage on the other side. Shockwave's coming up to try to cause a little bit of confusion. Passion over peaking, but he still somehow stays alive. Meanwhile, dealing so much damage to Maj and Blue. They're both one shot away potentially from going down with the right loadout.
That's crazy. They gave Passion enough time to actually heal back a bit there. But no, he gets tagged first. He falls right afterwards. No one's got heals, but Majin and Blue have the shots that mattered. Just like that, Maji, Blue end up getting the first set of eliminations. A little bit of payback here onto Day and Passion. They've already marked out there's opponents nearby. So they're heads up on the situation. Virgo, Shadow on the other side. Here at the harbor, nothing to worry about for them. Fully upgraded loadout. You talk about the minigame rewarding them. This time it is the mythic striker shotgun in the inventory, so they will be able to pack a punch.
Yeah, just got to be able to kind of position accordingly. Last game, you know, I kind of had that feeling, you know, he's being a little bit too close to Acorn and Bolts. Depending on what the Storm Surge is like for players in certain instances, you kind of really don't have too much control if you're below that threshold, especially when it is active. As we jump on board, Victor V. Queasy, second place in that last game. And right now, you see, just continue to be uncontested. And that's something that I want to continue to watch. I know we talked about it, Cole and Madden. If they don't necessarily have the most fun time and maybe need a victory royale, they go back to what they think is familiar. Or maybe Queasy and Victor V win this next game and open up the drop
get the
spot.
pistol
Either way,
every
I think
game.
there's endless possibilities.
Yeah, I'm thinking Victor V, Queasy want to have another huge, massive endgame, and they're probably going to switch their strategy up and look for these other teams. But hold up, take a look at Miro and Mason. A game one showing pretty strong, if we say so ourselves. Miro was in that end game fragging out, getting a couple elims there. They pick up 50 points coming out of game one. Not bad for the return of Miro.
And Miro always finds a way, just, you know, just going from relaxing, doing his own thing. You know, there was a moment where he was trying to qualify through NA West last year. Didn't necessarily work out. Took a little bit of break, comes back, and now he's kind of swinging for the fences. And it's actually looking pretty good. I think Mason is a perfect duo for him. Somebody who's young, eager to learn, and playing with one of the best players. But this is where you still have these lurk situations all around the map. We saw it in that last game, a team kind of lurking on a chest. This time around, though, I think it might be a little bit harder because the building is already looted.
Yeah, I was looking at the points for a second, thinking like, wait, is this the same team but a different building nearby? I was like, that would be so funny, but it isn't. Meanwhile, Jan and Batman, team 7 here, looking pretty good. 47 points for game one is a very strong way to start your tournament run off. But they gotta be careful. There is danger lurking upstairs. You said it's unlikely they go up, but only greed will tell here.
Yeah, I saw the medkit placed by the window. I'm like, oh no, I've seen baits like this before. But the thing that makes me feel a little bit more lackadaisy is down below there was another medkit, and they just kind of walked right past it. So I don't think that's necessarily going to happen here. So you see Cole and Madden.
What?
Oh no.
Nice.
Oh no.
Nice.
Does he get Elim though?
Out the window.
Did anybody see it? If nobody saw it, it didn't happen. Besides us, of course.
At this point, I saw his teammate jump out afterwards, so hopefully that was a shockwave. And not another... Oh, okay, I was going to say his teammate followed, but... Oh, good, it happens.
I like that. Just in case you didn't see it the first time, you're like, wait, what happened? What happened? We just show you again, but I don't think that's too strange. It looks like they were in a good position. Depending on where the zone goes is going to be my biggest worry about that reboot, because if it continues to pull over towards the west by Calamari Canyon,
These
it's
guys
going
are
to force
committed to
Madden
the
to just
lurk.
use some of his mobility, shockwaves, to get outside of the zone and closer to a safer reboot. So we'll see how that one continues to play out. If Cole actually got eliminated, if it was just a mistake that hopefully nobody notices for too long.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. So the bait and switch play is coming in. Batman does go upstairs, and he's greeted with 2 striker shotguns. And Crazy and Exhale are there. Just big damage getting put down here. And it's so unfortunate. Look at Seven's Yawn just dips out the scene here. He's like, all right, guys, I don't want anything to do with that.
You got me, you know, just give you one for that one. But again, I think Jan was the one with some of the med kits. So he's not on too short of a timer to try to get his teammate back up. Can overstay his welcome, definitely for sure. Vive and Veer kind of moving south already from the Battlewood. trying to get one of those high mountaintops over towards Calamari Canyon, where the zone is actually going to go. So my question for Cole Madden, I feel like just got a little bit harder, but still relatively early on the game. 84 players still up. So again, we're going to have one of those Storm Surge stack games here.
Yeah, most definitely. We expect NA Central to give us the best. And again, I meant it when I said that these lobbies have gotten progressively more interesting and definitely more difficult. I mean, you have teams in here, like we talked about, that are completely qualified to the globals. Yesterday's heats didn't have that. Obviously now with Acorn and Bolts qualifying through, it's just one less to have to think about here. But in any case, we have Vexy and Jair's Fires kind of hanging out right now, eating some Storm here. Too many teams set up here. He's noticing that QK's not looking his way though, so he could rotate if they want, but there is that dude just to the right.
Just a very cramped situation there, but if they have the heals, they shouldn't be too worried too soon in this game. Don't force themselves to make any mistakes here, as Liam and Jace still sitting on top of the Lifty Lodge Mountain. We know the zone is going over towards Calamari Canyon, so it's not too far away from Liam and Jace, so they can stay here just a little bit longer. They have access to
Trying to get a few
mini
tags.
machine down below. As long as they have the gold, they kind of got a ton of options, especially with other teams rotating in from near positions, not just there, but the island and towards the south.
Definitely enjoying the action so far for Percent and Acra though. We have a single Elin. This opponent's still sitting up top. I'm curious as to why Real Seal feels so confident to actually stick around and fight this one out. He's either got nothing to disengage with or he's completely hopeless. Well, we'll find out here.
Just trying to go straight in, but the Shockwave's making it hard for them to land the shot. He squeaks his way in, lands a good amount of damage on the Percent. Hey, but when you're getting 2v1 and pressured like that, sometimes you're just prone to make a mistake, getting sent back to the lobby. Luckily for them, though, they still got 3 games left on the day. This is only game number 2 if you guys are just joining in. Acorn and Bold, specifically Acorn, a massive clutch in game 1 to qualify to the grand finals. Victor V. Queasy, 2nd place, and everybody else kind of falling below them on the leaderboard, including Curly and Tyler. One of our new teams to this major. Curly, just shortly before, was playing with Rise, and we saw yesterday Muzz and Rise qualify to the grand finals. So now going into today for Curly, I feel like in the back of his mind, I at least have to make it to grand finals, so that way he doesn't regret that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Well, jumping over to some more action here, we have Jordan Brennan up against Durst and Toby here. We're sitting at the vending machines. He's got plenty of heals here purchased, but the team down low is already kind of rotating on out, so Toby Zurst can dip out if they want to. I think they can ambush a team here, though. They're playing pretty sneakily at the moment. They're not trusting anything.
Checking if their side is lurking. They're going right down below. You already called it out. There was a team down there already using those teleporters. It allows you, for the most part, to safely traverse long distances as long as nobody else is down there. But too many times watching Fortnite competitive, there usually tends to be at least one team lurking down there waiting for somebody to make a
bro
mistake.
AFK?
So hopefully it's not a decision that they fall into. Sinister Strip, a couple teams still here, zone not too far away, and this is where a lot of teams, just like Dash and Noxy, start to rotate in, even if they're on
You
the
just
line
haven't
like
said a
they are
word
here,
in,
not
like,
too far above the damage threshold, but they're just trying to recycle and
10
get more
minutes.
materials.
Sorry, I was
Yeah,
doing
gotta
something.
do what you gotta do to kind of get back into the game here.
Kind of cold down with my AC, bro.
Dash and Ox
Nice.
still have
It's
eyes
funny.
up on Slay and Stacks here. Everyone's kind of hanging out, taking advantage of the middle
Game
here.
3?
Nope. Game
A
2.
lot of teams nearby though as
Okay,
well.
yeah.
You start to look at how the zone's going to play out. This is going to be a mega.
There's still a
congested
lot of people
location.
left, too.
It's not including everyone that's in this storm as well.
Just looking at the few teams that we've seen as well, only 132 above. That's fine for now for this zone. But if this one pulls far away, not only is that storm threshold going to change, but you're going to have to rotate in unison with all of those teams that are stacked, not only in Sinister Strip, but around as well. Krampus and Louie, you can see they're back up in this game.
What day is last chance on?
Ready to fight it out. JB and Ralphie, we saw them go down relatively early in that last one. At least this time around, 89 above the damage threshold. Sometimes you just got to take what you can get. You may not feel confident with the amount of damage that you have, but it's just a resource to get from point A to point B, and then you just go right back at it.
Well, when this storm closes, Surge is going to officially start to activate and continue to do damage. It's going to be pretty tough. You can see it already starting to take place here as Ralphie JB dive in on a team. And you talk about being confident and feeling comfortable with your damage. Well, that's one way to do it. Find another team on the way there. Catches them completely off guard. Pistol striker here, trying to see what he can make happen. Knight coming back to take the fight. He's only 75 above. He kind of recognizes, hey, I got to fight not only this team and push them back, but I need to get the card as well if I want a chance here.
I'm not sure if they saw Miro Mason creeping up, but that was such a smart decision to just disengage. Especially, you can see Knight kind of below that damage threshold. Don't want to take any unnecessary damage. It almost looks like Storm Surge is active as well. So if you are below that damage threshold, you will be taking damage. But the zone does move towards the north. 111 above for Shadow and Virgo. This one isn't necessarily going to be easy. Shockwaving off the high ground, traveling a far distance, this kind of leaves you open to taking shots. So you have one of two choices, kind of deal with the pressure or just hopefully be able to kind of make it through late and not get stuck at the edge of the zone.
Yeah, getting stuck at the edge of the zone can always be a tough position to find yourself in. Shadow and Virgo already using early shockwaves here. Try to get ahead of the storm
Oliver OG,
themselves. They
man.
don't want to be caught in the two-tick. Meanwhile, Oliver, 41 below right now. It's not terrible, but definitely, actually, this is pretty terrible. I was looking at the heals. I was like, oh, okay, they have some time. But no, they've already been exhausting their heals, so it just tells us they've been under this storm pressure for quite some time.
Yeah, only 20 on the Chug, 1 mini on the other side. They just need to connect with one shot here, but nobody's really fighting in the distance. Nobody's really peeking, and now it just got even worse. 164 below the
Yeah,
damage
Oliver
threshold. Almost
GG's
essentially
cooked,
a
man.
full elimination worth of damage, and right now they're not finding what they need. Oliver OG is going to get struck down by Storm, and now it's X-Pont in that same spot. He's going to get 20 from the Chug, but that is just enough to survive. One more tick, it's just enough that he's going to go down.
That's rough.
And Stack saw it. Look at that. They're like, oops, let's go ahead and take a detour here. They jump right in the box and get this scraps that was left over from Oliver OG. And look at this. Natural situation here for Virgo in Shadow, who find themselves 4 below as well. But they're inside the safety of the new storm line here. But look,
There
no
we go.
heals
Got a
for
little
them
bit of
either.
damage.
So, Virgo and Shadow, we've now officially considered a very much top-tier duo. What do they do when they're under pressure right here? This is going to be very telling.
Yeah, from above to below. But while they're kind of having a little bit of struggles, look at Miro and Mason full boxing one, taking down the other. And now they're just relatively comfortable when it comes to that surge. Shadow and Virgo, on the other hand, still have to go on the hunt. Especially if they have to go ahead and rotate in, just like Aviv and Veer, just trying to go from point A to point B. They have more than enough damage as of now, 158 above, but 25 players need to go down before Storm Surge shuts off, so I don't think everybody is fully comfortable just yet.
Yeah, definitely not. Shockwaves again for Veer and Aviv here. Moving point to point. They still have this team on their heels, though.
Dude, there's still so many people left. It's actually
Very
crazy.
hurt. Aviv. Shockwaves up and over. Doing a pretty good job, but they're so split. It's costing them double their material to stay alive and trying to remain in. Nice little delivery there. That Siphon's going to go ahead and cap on Veer for a second, but question is, does he have enough shields? We'll have to find out in a second. First, though, take a look at Victor V. Queasy, 70 above, as they're positioning themselves on some natural height here. Victor continuing to frag out, finding another elimination.
Is this
here.
Victor B's
Just
game to win?
padding the stat at this point.
Uh-oh. I was about to say, I thought I saw Storm Surge taking the
never
distance. They're
mind.
still below the damage threshold.
David.
139 below.
rough
Look at their
situation.
heals. They really don't have much. In fact, even after healing this, Victor V is going to be out of everything. Now the zone is overtaking them. They have to act fast, and they have to act now.
Oh, they
Queasy
may be
connecting with a couple
cooked.
of shots, but you see the missed shockwave grenade coming out. He can't take a tick, otherwise Queasy will be eliminated, and that's exactly what will happen. Now that all the pressure is on to Victor V as a solo, and with the next zone appearing, he falls so far below that damage threshold. It's all or nothing. He needs a full elimination essentially here, and he's just taking more damage. He's on a clock here. For Storm Surge,
Yeah,
that
that's
clock will
rough.
strike 0.
Good try, valiant effort. Almost got the tags that they needed. But in the end, Queasy got hit and then hit again, and it was just a pack-a-punch there. But take a look at Miro continuing to fire off here on other unsuspecting duos on every single layer. He's just playing so aggressively as well. You see it just jumping in the box. It's a very Miro-like thing to do.
Holy cow, I need to wake up.
19 damage, which doesn't seem like a lot. Sometimes it's very, very risky at this stage in the game with everybody kind of being converged together like a can of sardines. You're just waiting for that open opportunity where teams will potentially have to rotate into him, but just kind of looking at the mini-map, he might have to create that opportunity instead of waiting for it to come.
Yeah, I like this though. He's kind of playing the outside right now, just looking for something to come his way. Meanwhile, Tyler and Curly now setting up for high ground pretty early here. They're marking where they need to start rotating towards. Miro Mason already shopping to the outskirts. Take a little bit of damage, but from Curly's perspective, things are looking pretty okay here up top. Meanwhile, Virgo gets that elimination he was looking for, this time onto Mason.
Yeah, a lot of that damage came from Curly and Tyler up above. Virgo just took that opportunity and ran with it. Gets him above the damage threshold. Even while taking a couple more shots from Curly, he's going to get a chance to heal here on the front side of the zone before he continue his journey forward. Luckily for him, he has a bunch of extra heals in the pocket that he's now going to go through, and other teams are now fighting. That's why you see the Storm Surge numbers jumping up just a little bit while he's not dealing damage. It just goes to show how active the lobby is right now.
You know, for a moment there, I was thinking, wait, is that a glitch? Is that an error? Like, what's 16 points for Virgo? Wait a second. So game one didn't exactly go the way that they expected, and this one's looking pretty tough. It's a really important game for them to get a little bit of a footing here in the tournament. Meanwhile, Miro finds himself by himself. Virgo still hasn't stopped. He finds 20 now as well. And another chug. He just continues to get rewarded with these chugs. This is what's keeping him alive right now.
Yeah, and you saw it's no use trying to shockwave up, put yourself in danger, just trying to go to the road less traveled here. And he's finding nooks and crannies that he's able to kind of boost that confidence. But now we're going up the side of the mountain just a little bit. Virgo wastes no time trying to get there. But you see how many players he's running into, how quickly he's reacting to protect himself. This is literally giving me deja vu of what Acorn just went through.
So smart though, just not looking to take any unnecessary battles, just showing us that he wants these placement points more than anything. Consistency, way more important than chasing the highlight.
High ground's looking good though.
And you know Shadow's in his ear. Max Mysterio, you're good, go, go. Those calls supposed to be crazy, but Seek Taki here on the low ground. Finally, they're finding their rhythm right here. It's their first end game they've made.
Amount of mats for them, but not the same here for Aviv and Veer. They see them lurking down, getting desperate, trying to find elimination. They see a Lolo by himself. They go for it, but it backfires. It looks like one's going to go down, and Veer's going to be left by himself. Quick pass off for the materials from Aviv to Veer, but he's burning through those, just trying to give himself a safe spot to hide in. Needs an elimination for the Siphon, for anything that he can get, even waiting for his teammate in the backside of his zone to go down, so at least he can get some scraps.
Saw Virgo there go down in 13th. He did enough just to earn some extra placement points. In the end now, Jace, though, from a 3rd place into a near top 10 finish. He's also left as a solo. Taki, another solo. Just a couple heals for him to work with. QK's right underneath. Madden still in the game. Jace finds QK. QK barely had anything to work with. Jace scrambles out of the box, gets pieced, but he manages to slip out somehow. Meanwhile, Sales and Vert don't want to get greedy, don't want to chase right now. They find another player down nearby. It's going to be a nice little refresh for them here.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the elimination points they were after, just the loop. We're going up a little hill. Them down below on the low
players
ground,
left.
have to try to climb right back on up, just like Yuz and Shark, man.
Dang, look, they're just chilling up there.
Just like Queasy and Victor V last game, they've just been controlling the high ground the entire time. Now they have that natural terrain, the big rock to cover them and just shield them a little bit more. While all the chaos is going on down below, they don't have to step foot in it. Meanwhile, Vert, Sales, they're down below. They're just going through the blender. Sharkman and Yuz looking down, taking advantage of every single opportunity here that's being presented to them as they pick up another elimination onto Sales.
Yeah, Sales is met with the indestructible wall here. Very tough situation to be in to work his way around the outside there. Meanwhile, Yuz flying off the rails here alongside Vert. They find a ton of eliminations.
QB2
falls here, and it's just a scramble fest down low. Tyler and Curly have given up the high ground, trying to get into the mix, and now it's up to Curly against Yuz. Yuz is
Curly wins.
HP, and in the end, Curly
will secure the double.
I mean, they were just chilling on high
He
ground.
split up from his teammate. He picked a new one to be by his side, and so far it is working out for Curly and Tyler. Nobody throughout the course of that game looked up, let alone tried to contest it. Congratulations and welcome to the grand finals.
Curly, Tyler, man, that zone pool, brutal. But for them, they had height so early, like the captain called out. At that point, it's like, what do? You guys are free to just live your lives up there. We're all struggling down below. Almost went a certain way, right? We saw it go down to the 1v1, but with enough resources in the back pocket, they were good to go. Now their next stop is the finals next weekend, Kelly. They got to be feeling great about that one.
100% for Curly and Tyler. I was a little worried though, holding height for that long, especially with how high they had that. I knew that they weren't able to get like a lot of refreshes like what we saw Bolts trying to do in the previous game. However, by having that natural height from the plateau that they went over, they were able to save a ton of mats. And honestly, I don't want to say that it was like luck because Curly and Tyler are an incredible team. However, they are freshly formed. So, you know, I think like individually, these two players have played with practically everyone in NAC. So they definitely have a lot of experience. Hopefully with the two of them together, they can find that synergy that they've been looking for with other players.
I think everybody at home, I think us up here on the desk have started to learn a little bit something about heat number 2, and it doesn't necessarily appear that many duos are willing to look up and give these high ground teams a run for their money. I mean, yes, of course, you do have to play well from the high ground, but it doesn't look like there's any pressure really being applied from any of these teams. In fact, they're always just so far away in terms of the disparity and some of the elevation between the
Go
high
refill
ground
my
team
water.
and some of the other teams down below. So that might be a win condition here for a bunch of our teams. That being said, I know there's one team that's going to be looking out. That's going to be Queasy and Victory in some of the subsequent games. But for now, Tyler did a great job in that game.
That's right, man. Again, we just need a victory royale, right? Or we need to be in the top 10 in consistency, but we can get that VR. We can just go ahead and say, hey, we're good until next weekend. You know it's going to be a massive boost to the confidence. Okay, that was just game number 2. We still have 3 games left to go before we say goodbye on heat number 2. So for now, a quick break. When we return, we start to break down some things that happened in that game. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
I got hit with that one off. I'm popping a med bit. Wait, short. Got 6 builds? No, max up. Wait, if you're mid, wait. 100? 100? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, I don't know if I called, bro.
What'd you get?
182.
What do
I
you
could
know?
have got more, but that kid just griefed me. Nah, I didn't call. No.
Dang.
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from
Could have got way
blasting
more,
into
but that kid
space.
just jumped in my box.
How close were you to calling?
I was 800 wait, 841 and then 800 to call.
Dang.
41 off.
That's close. Watching heats right now. First 2 games are done.
Holy shit.
Acorn went crazy the first game.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam, to the FNCS. Great to see all of you. Welcome in. That was game number 2. Curve and Tyler got themselves the Victory Royale, which means they are moving on to next weekend's finals. But Kelly, Viv, there's still 3 games left to go. Anything can still happen. Anything can and will happen. But man, we got to start turning attention to this leaderboard. There's been a couple of shakeups along the way since, I mean, obviously we only have 2 games. Don't freak out, Zeke. Don't freak out. Okay, Zeke, my bad. But Yuz and Sharkman currently lead the pack. They've had a pretty consistent showing. A 7th place with 2 elims and then a 2nd place with 8, right? So 2 games inside of the top 8. It looks pretty good so far, up 8 places.
Yeah, as far as qualification points go, 124 is definitely going to be putting themselves right potentially on that edge. I don't know if we can confidently say that that is a qualification just yet, but regardless, with their 3 games more to go, teams like Yuz and Sharkman or Sales and Vert climbing up those leaderboards. We even have people like Oreo and Rogue, some kind of lesser known players that are really jumping up here right now. And actually, it's some of our more established teams that are kind of falling by the wayside, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, we see Aviv and Veer right there in 7th place. They did go ahead and drop down 3 single placements, but they're still up there in 7th place, right? 93 total points. Kind of doing enough in game number 2 there to kind of still keep them in this top 10. Of course, on the back for the solo clutch from Aviv in game number 1, where he got 5th in 6 eliminations. A 12th place and just a singular elimination here in game number 2 is still kind of keep them in the running, but it was actually kind of Veer left to go ahead and clutch up just some placement points this time around. No elims to kind of be found by the duo, but this is exactly kind of how the format wants you to play. It just wants you to play consistently, wants you to keep getting a couple of points, and already being at 93, I mean, listen, our predictions were absolutely wrong when it came down to heat number 1, but let's go ahead and throw out a number here. Maybe around like 150 points is going to be your goal for the day to kind of keep you in the running.
Yeah, yesterday was 161, if I remember correctly, so you know, we still have 3 games. Nobody freak out. It's pretty crazy. Interesting you called that out, though, Viv. We've seen now 2 games, a couple of these high-profile duos come down to solo clutches, and it's not quite working out for them. You know, the lobby is still pretty stacked, and for many of these duos, when they're kind of forced into these solo situations, at least so far in heat number 2, it hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has worked out in a couple of regards in terms of those solo clutches, but I think, you know, we kind of saw Virgo, unfortunately for him, was kind of left as a solo in game number 2 there, which, by the way, like, I was looking at the leaderboard and kind of how they have placed in games number 1 and 2. I'm starting to worry a little bit for Shadow and Virgo, so I'm going to be looking towards those guys in game number 3, see if they can kind of pick it back up. But yeah, you, of course, want to kind of make it to these end games as a duo, and some of our duos that are kind of consistently making there towards the top of the leaderboard.
And one of those duos, definitely Liam and Jace, that we've seen being able to make it to the end game every single time. We've already talked about how this is kind of one of the newer duos recently formed just before the major. So to see them being able to kind of compete with some of the bigger names in this heat is definitely good to see. However, this definitely wasn't necessarily the game that they wanted. Jace coming down to a solo, and he didn't have any heals, he didn't have any builds, and obviously when it comes down to that, you're just hoping to grab elim after elim, hoping to grab some refreshes. And I think that as far as it went, as end games go, with the situation that Jace was in, he handled it the best that it could have been handled.
Yeah, well, I do feel like some of that can be attributed to the just brutal zone.
Yeah.
We got to see a little bit of it there
so
in that last little highlight reel. But man, look at this top 10. So again, just a very quick reminder, we're looking for a victory royale to move on to next week's finals, or to be in the top, basically look at top 10, which is kind of the top 15.
I don't know anything about Brazil teams, man. Sorry.
Jace, look, 20, and Chimp Experimental actually up there as well, 7 places. I mean, man, obviously with 3 games left to go, anything
what'd
still
you
happen,
say?
right? We still have time to take any of these kind of 2 games. We could, Kelly, let's treat them as warm-up games, right? Let's just agree they're warm-up games, Kelly. With 3 games left to go, what are we looking? Don't say oof. Don't say oof. What can we look to maybe change going into the back half of the competition?
I mean, well, looking at the players there that didn't have the best end game that they wanted, it came down to a solo. It's because they don't have any heals and mats in the end game, and obviously, there's only so much you can do to prepare for that. So, going to
Yo, appreciate the sub, man.
The mid game, so they were able to carry those mats and heals into the end game. But that's, you know, generic info. I'm not saying anything new. It's not like these players don't know it. When we come down to heats, it's just a big question mark. You don't know how they're gonna go because these aren't the typical lobbies that our top teams are used to playing.
Yep, without a doubt. And kind of Zeke was posing the question right there. What do you need to change kind of going into the second half of the day? Well, listen, that question can actually be answered in game number 5, the last game of the day, because the format actually does favor opportunities throughout. If you're in the last place on the leaderboard going into game number 5, you can still qualify to finals. So kind of Zeke coining them as warm-up games. Maybe he's kind of alluding to one of our teams kind of clutching up in the second half of the day. But for some of our teams kind of playing consistently, just got to keep.
I'll be honest, man. I don't know what that is.
For,
Sorry.
Noticing me, Vid. Appreciate you. With that being said, game number 3 is ready, though. So, casters, over to you.
That's right. Thank you, Zeke. Look, I'm looking at the standings here.
I know it's like an
also feeling
esports team,
a little bit
obviously,
concerned
but-
here, Jacob, for our friends Virgo and Shadow. You know, I didn't quite realize they had a tough game 1.
Yeah, honestly, this is not what I expected from this team, and I kind of see why. Typically, when you see a team like Shadow and Virgo play, they're more in that aggressive nature, picking up early game eliminations. Today, we haven't necessarily seen that, and with 2 chances already gone, you only have about half of the day left. You really
Other than them
start to
being
have
an
to pick
esports
it
team,
up
I don't
and
really
gain
know
some
much
traction.
about them. Sorry.
That's right, and Storm Surge was a factor going into game 2 as well, so it seems like they don't have enough of that, I don't know, friction in their early game rotate right now, or the way the strategy's playing out. We'll see what they can do to make an adjustment, though. Yesterday, we saw Cold and Ritual struggle game 1, basically getting met with the same surge issues. They made the adjustments, but jumping into game 3, let's see if the guys can do it.
I kind of hit the nail on the head. You've seen a few teams already that you wouldn't expect struggle with Storm Surge. Obviously, if the zone pulls away, it doesn't really help much, but this is the moment. If you are a team like Shadow and Virgo, and after every single week, players are looking at you as one of the teams to beat. There was even a little bit of rumors talking about if trios was a thing. Peterbot
Alrighty, game
maybe
3, man.
Virgo in the mix as well. So we really need to see more out of Shadow and Virgo.
2 of the
and
top
I
teams
wanna
are out of
see
this,
here in
so.
game.
Yeah, Virgo also sending those messages online like, hey, Virgo, you know, Peterbot, it's time. You know, just trying to hype things up, keep himself in that conversation as the next elite up-and-comer. At the end of the day, you have to prove it. Got to put up the numbers, got to put up the performances to continue to be regarded as one of those ones.
Are you sleeping over there?
Speaking of
Wake
Varsity
up.
Ghosts, got their drop to themselves here. We'll be jumping around some of our usual, I'd say, fights here in just a couple moments. Here's Day and Passion versus Blue and Maji, already playing to see who's got the best drop. This has kind of gone either which way after the first couple of games. You know, Day and Passion had game 1. Blue and Maji got game 2. Game 3, Blue's going to get the gun first. Can he get the first exchange here? Allows Day to slip away for just a moment there, but the follow-up is good onto Passion. It's not looking too good for the guys up top, and there you have it.
Yeah, Day just getting stuck with the lesser of the floor loop, the burst. Unless you're hitting all headshots with that one burst, you're not really going to be able to do much against, you know, these quick fire weapons just like the SMG that they were able to get. But the team, you know, I want to see them do good. Virgo instantly landing on that duck game, just trying to get as much of the loot out as possible. And so when it comes to the early game, it is a little bit of a slower approach because Heatwave Harbor at times, there's so much space, there's so much loot. And for Shadow and Virgo, you really have to decide, do you go and try to take advantage of some of those early game contested fights, or do you go and try to give yourself the best loadout so when you do end up in a fight, you have the best chances?
Well,
That guy's teammate just went down.
They've always been a team that never got a name POI. They played on the outskirts, really scrappy drops, and they just made the best of it. This is the first year, the first seasons, right, that we're seeing them get the respect that they're demanding and then getting big POIs. So they have to do a lot with it, or they're going to end up back in the gutters, being contested, and pushed to the outsides of the map.
Seeing our game 1 winning spot, Frosted Flats, with Acorn and Bolts no longer in the game. 2 teams, unlike the 4 that we saw yesterday when Hobby and Aminish qualified, choosing to make that their new home. You can split Frosted Flats, it's just a choice if you want to. So there's a ton of loot and opportunity there. Vert and Sales coming out of their split drop as well, and that's kind of one of the downfalls of having a split drop. You can feel all the confidence in the world, but there's never a guarantee once you continue on your loot path that it's not going to be taken from somebody else. And you're already seeing in and around this actual spot, it is getting a little crowded, and they haven't even reached over towards Sinister Strip yet.
Yeah, 2 other teams already cutting into the route. It's going to affect them a fair bit. They've done relatively well to keep their points up. Meanwhile, Aviv is trying to quickly get his loot situated so they can get a move on as well. Very slow start for the most part for Aviv and Veer, but there's a team in the city just next door. Meanwhile, you have Cade, Seal just kind of looking out here. The team's pinching them at the chop shop right now. One opponent on either side. They're looking to be making a move here shortly.
Yeah, nobody really having a full loadout, so to say. Maybe Tram and Dax.
They rotating out of there.
Different. They have the majority of the loot over at the chop shop, but it's not a risk. Yeah, it's not a risk Cade and them are just wanting to take just yet.
Said
Just
they
go ahead,
rotating
you guys
out of
can
there.
have it, your position. We don't know exactly where you're at, so it would, in theory, be a little bit of a risk. Try to hunt inside of
I
there.
mean, they got 2
So
chug
they should
jugs
go ahead and hope some of these
and
other
all that,
splits
so
aren't
probably
as
the
looted.
smart decision.
Weez and Boogie, we saw them go down last game. And again, Wonky Land getting a little bit more and more crowded. It's not just the teams that are landing at Wonky Land, but the 2 that land below on that little island south in the minimap.
See it though, they're moving right up and into Tank. Tank's already just lurking nearby. Having that trigger discipline to not shoot Weez who's out in the open. He's got a chance now to light up Boogie here. Waiting for his teammates to kind of swing around before he opens up. Any shots is going to be important for them to tag. Virgo, Shadow. This is the adjustment to the strategy. They knew they needed to start getting early surge damage. This fight here with the pressure on them, it's going to be a determining one.
Yeah, this is the switch up I do want to see. Start to build that confidence fight by fight. It's typically what they do
People
best.
going for
We see
storm
2 different
surge
fights here,
already.
Heat Wave and a Wonky Land. Tank is going to go down in Wonky Land. He was able to survive in that last game, but Shadow and Virgo running into some troubles as well. Virgo getting tagged up just a little bit. The Storm eating at their HP. They do have some chug jugs in their inventory to get it back, but it kind of put it to pause on the fight.
I'm surprised they didn't want to trade reses there.
Here, so it's going to be really important that they try to finish this one up, but Shadow and Virgo's going to cough at the disengage. Getting back to the fight with Stars, though. He fails the shockwave. Both sides got a knot, but Boogie ends up getting the pickup onto Weez. Weez is going to bounce right back in with the chug jug here, and they might have made a mistake allowing him to catch too much distance here.
More so now that third team's just there, sitting above Ghost and Raz, just trying to take advantage. Any damage, better than none.
What?
And they realize Boogie might be a solo here. This might be their
This
best
guy's like
opportunity to
yelling from
actually
his
pick
bed
up
or
one of
something.
those
I don't know what he's
formations.
saying.
He's still hiding underneath those bills, trying
I
to
have
go
my mic
ahead
was
and
turned
cancel
around.
out some
What are
of
you
those
talking about? I'm not in my
options.
bed.
Ghost getting pushed alone for a short second. And this is where you can kind of see on both sides.
Thought you were
What
taking
you talking about, kid?
Thought you were taking like a 30-minute power nap, bro. I said 2 words in the last 30 minutes.
Comes the shockwave. Off they go. Straight to get those meg kits there. Try to buy out the meta machine. It's the right play.
Like,
For
what
sure.
are you talking about? You just started with Charlie. Started with Charlie what?
Into a little bit more of a quiet situation. Mason seems to be by himself at the moment. Yeah, no Mero here, so he is at least going to get back to the reboot there. He gets some shockwave cap out, and off he goes. Lucky for him, there is a few teams there, so chasing here would be very dangerous, but Mason should know, just like we know, there's always danger lurking in the storm.
Yeah. You can even see just Jan, Nick on the other side of the map. They instantly are able to win their fight. Get the revive back up, slowly but surely build the confidence. 50 points may not be where they would want to be on the leaderboard, but with 50 points, you're just around that top 10 consistency bubble. Just need to continue to push yourself a little bit further, remain consistent in these games. Don't even necessarily have to win them all, but you need to have top 10 placements throughout the majority of these games.
Got to start stepping it up here. This is the time to do it. You can do it in 3 games.
Dang, they didn't get
for
Mythic
sure.
Pistol
Otherwise,
this
it'll
game.
Take 2 monstrous games worth of points. This third one's going to be important to kind of ease things up and at least give you a chance in the race here.
So what?
Oliver OG.
Said Oliver OG didn't get Mythic Pistol this game.
This is where depending on where you're kind of positioned,
He
on the
died
map
with
of
it
the
to
game,
Storm
you
Surge
tend
last
to
game.
slow down. There's just too big of a risk to taking that close quarters
Let's
combat
stop off
style
with
fight where
that
you're
with
box
that
fighting,
pistol.
going for shotgun shots.
Trust
You
me, I
see
know.
how many teams
But
are
they died
actually
to
in
it.
the zone here. A couple of them at Wonky Land, Frosted Flats, Golden Grove, a couple more split between the bottom. And I believe between some of these games, I saw somebody talking about at one point or another in the 5th zone, 36 of the 43 teams alive at that point in time in the game were outside of the zone, Monster, 5 to 6. And so that just goes to show how the meta has shifted with a little bit more safer gameplay in a lot of these instances.
Definitely some players looking to kind of pull back a bit here, but look at Chimp at 20 right now. Still 0 eliminations, and I'm counting the teams here. 4 other duos sitting at the Battlewood. Got to make a move right now. Otherwise, he'll be met with that Storm Surge warning here shortly. Looking at how capped off they are with all their builds and general loadout, I don't think they've gotten into too much action unless that Storm Surge tower is theirs. Either way, Nexi, Jerry's on the other side, already based up next to some opponents on top of the machine.
They're just poking him from all sides. They almost had an opportunity there to catch him off guard. But if you kind of look at the HP of all the players around, the ones that were trying to force the tempo of Reset and Night were the ones taking most of the damage. And now you can see they're probably already feeling uncomfortable for their Storm Surge, and now you almost got a max pool across the map with so many teams in your path along the way there. So those shockwaves, you have to use them perfectly. Too much air, you're going to become a target.
Jump in with Virgo and Shadow now. Move outside the storm. Just getting back in, so looks like the pickups were good. They got into that little fight like we talked about. And I mean, you see the adjustment right in their strategy. Their drop spot was a little too good, too close for comfort on the Storm Surge. Game after game, game 3, we're seeing a completely new Shadow and Virgo right now, but still no eliminations, right? It's not very common of Shadow and Virgo, at least from what we've seen them do in the past.
All these teams are on top of each other.
A lot of pressure on them right now to really pick up the points here and get back in the conversation. Veer, Aviv on the other side, just trying to do the opposite. Stay consistent and remain in the running. He's got to be careful of some opponents there.
And Aviv and Veer is a team, you know, if you kind of take a step back, 2nd place in the overall play-ins, 210 total eliminations. Monster, they had 11 games with 10 plus eliminations. And you're just seeing once you get into a set finals lobby with on the line, it may not be the end of your Major 2 FNCS, but on the line, it may not be the end of your Major 2 FNCS.
Regarded as one of those
you're going to have to make it to Major 2 Grand Finals, because you don't want to end up in that last chance qualifier. You don't want to have to win one of those games in the last chance lobby, because if it feel daunting doing it here, it's going to feel even more pressure if you have to go down there and do it again.
See how it plays out here, though. Heatwave Harbor, Mason Marrow already on the move. Marrow's been very impressive coming into those end games, catching his moments, finding his highlights. Jumping with Dash and Noxy right now. How are things looking for them? 24 points. Pretty tough tournament so far. Competition being very, very tough. You have Sky and Suze Vixie moving on the outskirts right now, but it's a team that's safe for the most part.
Kind of looking at all the stats here, even though they only have 24 points so far, this is another team I know that can turn it on. 144 eliminations through the play-ins. They had 6 10-plus elimination games, and right now they're looking pretty good in terms of their overall positioning. Got a box set up literally in the center of the zone, so in this next one, when it does kind of pull away and you start in those moving zones, they are going to have to rotate, but this right now is going to be one of the harder zones, and I think right now they're the best position to survive it.
Let's watch the replay here. Reset, Night finds Jers with a monster tag there. And again, we knew that team was kind of sitting on the mending machine, just wondering like, hey, are they just trying to hold it down right now? What is the game plan? And that's exactly what they were doing. Trying to see if they could force the fight. Instead, it backfires immediately. Oliver OG has to pick up his teammate. He's lost him, but oh no. Getting deep into the running right now. He's got to play the Storm here.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where even though you're kind of isolated away from the rest of the lobby, he has no extra HP heals. He can't overstay his welcome here unless he finds something here off of this chest. He's just farming this up for the metal. I do believe a chest might spawn above it if it's not looted or not. But he actually is willing to sacrifice the actual HP. Being a solo here with X-Pawn already eliminated out of this game, they're at least solving one problem here, and that's where they don't have to deal with as much surge as they did in some of these other games.
People a little bit more aggressive this game than the last few.
Back with Marrow on the outskirts. Where's the teammate? Where's Mason? Okay, not too far behind, but look at this, Jacob. 71 below. Mason trying to glide his way in. This is looking pretty rough, and we know we're going into a 5-tick as well.
Yeah, Marrow even taking some damage. Just hearing that Warforged sound off, the team above them does have that mythic Warforged, so they can easily burn through the materials and try to put down pressure. But as you said, 2-tick 5, 5th zone into a 5-tick 6th zone. And you can see Mason, HP just being eaten alive. He's trying to make his way on back just in time to survive, possibly going down. But just as I say that, a whole nother team, third parties, to take down Mason, leaving Miro all by his lonesome.
See it. 606 above now. 3 elims. Miro's still lurking. Trying to stay low-key. Doesn't want to attract too much attention. He's already done enough, but 30 below, 80 below, 30 HP. He's going to take a tag. The Storm gets it well out of his reach, and even though he was 43 above, he did get a tick there. Just a rough spot to be in, you know?
Seems like people are having a rough
Mason's
time
still kind of
getting
on the line
surge.
for the most part. We got to see where this game does finish up. They're one of the teams that have been holding strong. Vert without Sails, let's see what he can do. Storm Surge, I kind of think for the rest of this game for Vert, not necessarily going to be a worry. Almost 700 above that damage threshold. But I will say bigger problems is being in solo. As soon as teams spot you out, that's like a green light to go. Especially if they're below the damage threshold, you simply need resources.
We see Victor V though, looking pretty strong here, Jacob. Once again, we're seeing them in a strong position, some high ground, plenty of points earned. Last game was a little bit tough though, right? They fell very much short of where they wanted to be, didn't earn really anything. And we were kind of talking about if the strategy was to stick around the games and try to force your opponents to not make grand finals, I mean, you need to earn your way first, right? You have to earn big games, so you can't really drop the ball. This is their chance to do it.
Yeah, especially more so now that Victor V is finding these eliminations, finding damage. That was part of the reason they went down early. 26th place in that last game, only 1 eliminations, and it was because of Storm Surge. So they really didn't get much points after that 2nd place finish in game 1. But I think instead of looking at it as a negative, these guys are looking at it as a positive. You know, we played bad in one of these games. We cannot have too many more of these mistakes. And there goes Victor V finding yet another elimination. So that's 3 more points to their total.
More points. Things start to add up. Slowly but surely, you got to walk your way to that finish line. Veer, Aviv, 1,000 damage above. All they got to do is just play their game, keep a low profile. Doing just that. Nice little low ground. Front side rotates happening here. Victor V is going to find another elimination to feed there. 29 teams, make that 28 teams remaining.
Only a few solos littered around this lobby as Victor V, Queasy looking to reinforce their position. They do have some of these trees and extra fields to protect themselves with. But it's the shockwaves when teams go for the high ground that can truly make the difference. In Shadow and Virgo, you see in a world of difference from them here than in the first 2 games so far. They're feeling a lot more comfortable. Even without eliminations, you can kind of see it in the damage. 626 above that threshold. They get those eliminations, or at least the loot from those eliminations in the backside of the zone. That's going to help them push a little bit forward here in this game.
I'm liking it. Look at this. Look at the split that you're seeing from Queasy and Victor. This is as textbook as it gets for a team that is in control of the lobby. We've seen it time and time again. This is how you take full control and you
Victor V
actually
finally gonna win the
minimize
game.
any other team from
His
getting
game.
in a position to contest you. Victor comes to join Queasy on the front side. It's cost him a lot of material though. No refresh just yet. Meanwhile, Oliver OG flies a little too close to the sun. He gets burned a little bit there. The V finds himself a little refresh here on the outskirts. It's not his Elam, but the mats are very much welcomed at this moment. He was willing to trade health for that, so we'll see if that ends up being worth it here shortly.
And right now, we're just barely in the beginning of these placement points. 2 teams going down, 2 teams worth of placement points so far. It's not where you want to let your foot up off the gas by any means. Talked about enough top 10 finishes. Can all but qualify you to the grand final, so consistency is definitely going to be key. Liam, Jace, 120 points and counting here. A lot of damage landing onto Liam, forcing him to back up and slow his roll for sure, but luckily for him, Jace full HP, getting ready for this next rotation. Burr goes down, Shadow's by himself, big shot gonna be fired, but another elimination as they go down here in game 3.
Yeah, he caught a tag there too, just not enough to finish the job, but look at this. There's a team, Night lurking on Queasy and Victor V as well. Look, they actually end up going for it. They were playing the Storm. Very smart on them to do so. Victor and Queasy don't have the material counts to actually push for the fight, though. They're going to have to concede the high ground. And Reset and Night don't really have much either, so that was just a complete pump fake for them. Victor, Queasy switch up the strategy, go front side, low ground. Now they are forced to play for a fight. Just a
Victor V has the
shift
pistol.
of the dynamic here.
Yeah, the blessings for them right now is they are in the front side of zone, trying to take control as much of the space as possible. Here's a few teams fighting, peeking, seeing if it's of any interest. With no opportunities to strike, they're going to go ahead and heal up as much as possible, get that effect because they know they're going to have to run into zone, sacrifice the HP. It's the only way they can get right back into position here.
Yeah, they go out and around. Victor finds one on the flyby there. It seemed like, no, it was actually Aviv who snipes the Elam. Hold up, Aviv might be putting up the performance to clutch his way through, but first we focus on Jason Liam here. 3 eliminations, another end game. This young and up-and-coming team is playing very, very well. I know the guys at Void have to be excited about this one. Jace is their pretty much rising star at this point. Queasy, Victor back to them. 5 Elams on a low ground.
Essentially all but qualified. Around 160 was yesterday's total. They are so close. Noxy Dash, they don't want to have to worry about qualifying through consistency. They have their moment on the high ground now, but just like everybody else we've seen in the cloud, the material count is lacking, just like Knight. They did so much work. They had high ground at one point, but they lost everything, and they returned to fight Victor V and Queasy, and they get their revenge. You take our high ground, we take you out of this game.
Yeah, this is working really well for Victor V and Queasy because actually they need the points more than anything else. They want that consistency to come through. Liam finds QK, finds the follow-up as well. The Siphon goes through, but he's met with a huge shot on the other side, and Jace didn't see the boys in his box, and down he goes. It's actually Cat here who finds the Elam. 20 now popping off here. Chimp down and out for the count. Queasy's by himself. Victor's already fallen. Queasy picks up 2 eliminations now. He's got so many heals. This is a smart play, but he's got to get a little bit more. There's the Siphon to give him the room to go ahead and pop that Chug Jug. He can do so if he wants to, but if he wants to win the game, he's got to be in a stronger position.
Yeah, he has 170 on a Chug Jug, 90 in the other 2 combined. It's the material count that I'm really worried about. As Dash exposes the weakness, gets the elimination. 3 teams remain, 2v2v2. Seek and Taki down below. Cat and Havoc being pushed outside of the zone. Dash is going to at least steal away one of those eliminations, and they have that mythic from Victor V's body earlier on in the game. 3 more points, which might not mean much if they could get the victory royale.
Yeah, you're watching a complete shakeup right now with all the points. These are teams that were low on the standings, fighting their way back up. Dash and Noxy end up doing what they need to find the 2 Elans, and now it's just up to them from the zone into the safety they go. And Dash will win that game there in the end.
Yeah, that's a big game for Dash and Noxy. They had a decent performances leading up into this Victory Royale. Consistency is key, building that momentum and confidence. And right now, they have to be feeling out of this world. A trip to the grand finals, Monster, with that Victory Royale. Right, Zeke?
Bro, you could not be more right, Jacob PR. What's very interesting, going into that game, Dash and Noxy were 26th place.
BRB.
26th. With 2 games left to go. What a great time, Kelly, to go ahead and just get a Victory Royale, right? Halfway through the competition, you're starting to get maybe a little worried, starting to feel the pressure a little bit. looking at that bubble thinking, can we make it? Oh, actually, just kidding. It's all good. We get a victory royale. We're good, Kelly. Let's get out. Let's go.
They played that end game really smart. Obviously, it was Queasy and Victor V on height, and instead of trying to fight that directly themselves, they allow Reset and Night Knight to go for that. And then once you already start to see the contention going on for high ground, that's when it kind of allows other teams to do the same. And I think that's exactly what we saw from Dash and Noxy there. They just waited for the opportunity for that high ground to be just a little bit more vulnerable. And going up against Queasy and Victor V, that's always a big question mark on how that is going to go out in your favor, right, Vivid?
Yep, without a doubt. And for Dash and Noxy, this qualification is going to mean a lot to them because they actually missed out on major number 1. So kind of returning to the finals for them will be exciting to see them there. But yeah, what's the most impressive thing about their high ground retake, you can see they already have 3 eliminations, but when they were actually first initially up on that high ground, they had 1 singular elimination. And why that is so tough to actually kind of fathom sometimes among some of these end games, because if you only have 1 elimination, that means you probably have only gotten 1 refresh. Of course, there's possibility that you went ahead and picked up an elimination that you didn't necessarily get, but for them to kind of make it all the way to the end game with such a low amount of elimination, you got to imagine the rotates for these guys were on point. And like I said, kind of returning to the grand finals for both of these guys. They did unfortunately miss out on major number 1. They are probably so excited.
Dude, you gotta be, right? You gotta be just thinking, hey, finals, and if we can just do well in finals, maybe the global championship is in reach. You know, like there's so many paths that now open up for the duo. But again, right now, it's just about next weekend and the finals. Okay, 2 games left to go. We're gonna go to break. We're gonna start setting up the standings, see how things go or are going. Prepare ourselves for the last 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a moment.
I got hit with that one. I'm popping a med bit. Wait, choke. I got 6 builds. No, max up. Wait, if you're med, wait. 100! 100! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Two more games left. 2 more games left.
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
Who's your predictions for these runs, Zach?
Who's my what?
Predictions to win.
I still think we got... I think we got a win coming for Victor V, but I don't know. Hopefully.
I should be able to.
They've had some good games, they just haven't been able to finish. Tomorrow's gonna be insane.
No, actually, so stacked.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the FNCS. Halfway through the competition, this last game rather goes over to Dash and Noxy. They get the Victory Royale. They're on their way to next weekend's finals. They don't have to play any more Fortnite today, but still much to go, much to do. 2 games left to go before we wrap up heat number 2. And if you're not in through a Victory Royale or through that top 10 inconsistency, you've got to fight through the last chance qualifier. You don't want to do that. Much harder to do. Really quickly though, now that we're at the halfway point, we wanted to go ahead and highlight some things. So let's check out the players in focus, powered by Milk. We got to take a look at some of the stats. We love to do this kind of thing to check out. Yo, I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm really bad at reading. Is Victor V just all over these stats right now?
Yeah, as far as eliminations and damage dealt, and then of course damage ratio is usually
just need
part
to
of
get
that
that
trio
win.
right there. Victor V is definitely on top right now with a 5.39 damage ratio. That's crazy to think. I mean, yes, they have made it to the end game every single game, but to do that without winning a game, I mean, my goodness.
This is kind of crazy because I'm actually looking at some of the damage that he's actually dealt right there. You can see 3,273. So I was kind of curious to know how the rest of the lobby and the rest of heat number 2 is kind of stacking up against them. The player behind him in damage dealt is actually QK at 2,000. So Victor V has almost a 1,300 damage lead over just second place right now. He has only taken 600 damage over the course of these 3 games, which is actually very, very crazy. He's doing so good.
I mean, that mythic pistol in his hands is just deadly. I mean, it's a great gun, but obviously in the hands of Victor V, who has just been proving himself season after season for the last 2 years now, that he could be regarded as one of the best fraggers in the world, and obviously paired up with Queasy, leading him to victory right now. This is definitely the duo that everyone was excited to watch, and I'm glad to see them being able to pull out some incredible games so far. But that VR is still within their grasp. So close, Zeke. Maybe they just want to play out all 5 games. It wouldn't be something new.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen duos kind of mention that, right? Going ahead and playing out all the games, getting that experience. Remember, we kind of called out at the beginning of the show that this is a duo that kind of recently moved to NA, so we're still trying to figure things out, just trying to make sure we get as much practice in as we can. So I like that, Kelly. Let's go ahead and let's make that the narrative. I'm down to make that the narrative. Looking in on our first place team, which is currently 4th place. Don't worry about those other players. That means that the 1,000 points mean they've gone on, won a victory out. They're on to next weekend. Liam and Jace, guys, they are doing so well right now. They have not had a single game outside of the top 8. Though the eliminations might be just a touch on the low side, they have really nailed the, like, we need to do everything we can to make it into the top 10. And if this was finals, Kelly, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think there was a few questions for this duo here, forming up for the second chance qualifier, making it into the Summit LAN, and getting 31st place, which as far as going through the lower bracket goes is a pretty good performance. But I think 31st place at a LAN still makes people kind of wonder, how are they going to perform together in a setting like this? And honestly, I think that they're performing quite well. I think that they might not be necessarily regarded as just this duo that formed up because, you know, oh, it was the second chance qualifier. They might actually be a longer standing duo, especially if we can see them make it into the grand finals.
I mean, consistently playing like this, right? Top 8s across the board of 3 games here in heats is definitely something that should not be kind of swept under the rug for these guys. We kind of talked about it, right? The experience that Jace kind of got in a LAN environment should help him out so much when it comes down to these online performances. And we might be seeing first time for Jace here actually make it to an online FNCS Grand Finals with them already on 161 points. That experience is already helping indeed. And I'm excited to see if they can kind of keep it rolling.
Yeah, man, we saw that point threshold yesterday, right? Again, 161 now. Of course, today very well could be different, but if we use that as kind of like that line, they're good, right? We just need to get a handful of more points in these remaining 2 games to really push themselves over that line. HVAC there and Cat as well in 5th place, only a single point behind. And look, when we are looking at their stats, they're actually very, very similar. We just talked about it, this last team not going outside of 8th place. They have not had a single game outside of the top 9.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the loadout right here with 2 mythics in their pockets sticking to the low ground right now. It's definitely going to spell a little bit of a disaster, and Cat actually staying alive, unfortunately running out into Storm with only 1 HP is going to spell the end for him. But Havoc doing a pretty good job keeping the momentum going, definitely going for more aggro plays at that end game. But here we need to look at page number 2, the bubble, the threshold. The top 15 teams is what we're going to be looking for to make it into the grand finals next week. And we can see Mason and Miro just 1 point away, Vivid.
Yep, very, very close. We'll have to see if some of these teams can kind of clutch up. You can see, though, you know, I've kind of been talking about, I do want to give a quick shout out to Shadow and Burger, to any of their fans at home right now. Let me look over here. 28th place right now. They have only picked up 46 points. 2 games left to go, man. I want to see these guys do good.
But Viv, remember, we've got 2 games, right? All we need at this point is just the victory royale. They've done it before. I believe we stand behind Shadow and Virgo right here, right now. 2 games to make something happen. With that being said, game 4 is ready. So casters, over to you.
I cannot believe the games are going as fast as they are. 3 games already done, only 2 games left to go. That means time is running out for the consistency leaderboard.
Yeah, and Vivid is giving us the story to look out for. We're putting Virgo
Put a
and
lot of
Shadow
games so
on
far,
the
bro.
watch list right here. We
It's not
have
even
to
good today.
see if they can pull through right now. It's going to be very, very close for them. But we've seen teams do it every single time and time again. All you have to do is stay in the conversation going into game number 5.
Yeah, I feel like Shadow and Virgo kind of needs to go back to what has worked in the past. They were one of the higher teams in terms of total eliminations in the play-in stages. They just need to return to form. But 2 games left. Let's see if they can do that.
All right, Jacob, game 4 is kicking off now. This is it, the final 2 games of the tournament is here and now. And you know, if you're these teams that are getting these contested drops and having pretty rough games, if you want to go to grand finals at this point, you have to put your pride aside and likely just try to play for this victory royale. This time, no Passion and Day, trying to see if they can get the best of the team that they've been fighting every single time here. And they've already shown us that they can do it once. They just have to do it again.
Yeah, see Day just shocking up, trying to get that bird's eye view, finally getting the audio notification of where he's actually trying to hide on the side, returns back to Passion, just making sure that they don't get caught off guard by any means. They're going to try to look for that elimination onto blue. It's almost in Maji's best interest to continue to hide, but since he is running around, they're going to figure out exactly where he's at. Passion's going to be the first one jumping in, not necessarily landing the game-changing shot there, but Day is just slowly but surely on the way, trying to take a different approach from the bottom up, spraying through those builds. Maji's doing a good job of getting away, drawing time. Blue has made his way all the way to the reboot van to try to get it off as a solo.
Yeah, very
Holy
nice.
cow.
He is going to be able to pull it off. So Maji's just got to buy time.
The
Look at Day
reboot.
doubling back, shockwaving across, trying to catch him on the exit here. Couple shots go
my
down.
gosh.
It's not going to be enough to put any pressure up. It's just a distraction. He goes right back in the van as well. That's hilarious. Just to buy a little bit more time.
Dang, they caught him last
Did
second.
Maji escape though? No, he kind of stays around here. So he's riding this one till the wheels fall off. And what's sketchy about this is that they actually have 55 points, right? So it's not like he needs to throw this game away by any means. This clearly is what he believes is the best decision.
Yeah, he did land a good shot on the Passion there, but Day quickly turns that one around, gets him with the cone, catches them all with the elimination there. And this is the thing, though. It's good job to win the fight, but Day and Passion find themselves so low on the leaderboard, you almost need a victory royale. You need to turn something of this game, even if you don't get the win, top 3 with a certain number of eliminations, so you give yourself a fighting chance in the last game of the day.
Yeah, they literally need to win the game. And that's why I was kind of confused about Maji, because, right, Maji's had, let's just say 55 points, right? They might be feeling like they're out of the running here. However, you look at Virgo and Shadow, 46 points, and we're asking of them to have 2 pop-off big game performances, right? So, like, anything is possible when you're still in, you know, on the board, if you will. You see here, 6 quick points picked up for Sleaze. And they're going to go ahead and find themselves at 72.
That same feeling from what we were watching yesterday. You know, a lot of these early games, very, very slow for
Wonky fight.
react. You know, 90 players, 85, going into Storm Surge this time around, game 4, just like yesterday, with extra space. They do have a decent loadout, especially Vixie. Mythic does have the purple shotgun, can deal a ton of damage in a short time, but it's worth the risk. I'm not necessarily sure that's true. Ralphie and JB, they're keeping pressure from up above. They only have 12. They have better loadout, and so where you can see they're probably feeling confident, but again, I think it's just a risk-reward scenario of taking an early game fight for some of these teams.
Yeah, it's a good fight right now. They're on the edge of the storm line, so they definitely have some time, and we already know most of these guys have had issues with Storm Surge. So given the circumstances, you know, take the fight, but you end these fast. You move on. You don't overextend your welcome and lose your damage lead. Take a look at Madden, though. He has 2 elims from his perspective. One of them was onto Nappytron and his duo. See how it plays out. Just go straight across. Puts it all in the line. He had Cold there to back him up, though. Works out very well for them. Just like that, they earn themselves 6 points. Meanwhile, Chris, Drew here. See them toss a loot, trying to really build themselves a nice stronghold.
Chris and Drew, they had a bunch of shines and moments, you know, from Major 1 in between. We really haven't seen much of them, right? And then you go into the FNCS play-ins, 5th on the overall leaderboard, 151 eliminations, 10 games where they had 10 plus. So hopefully they're finding themselves and getting right back on track. They're one of the teams where they are firing on all cylinders. They can be a huge threat to this lobby. Just jump on board Victor V and Queasy again. You can kind of see Victor V consistently putting up those numbers, but you see a big change in his loadout this time around, right? I don't see the Mythic pistol for Victor V. That's going to be in Queasy's hands this time around. He's like, yo, you're having too much fun. We probably already qualified. Now it's my turn to have some laughs.
Yeah, I am curious about that, but he's got the high ground right now. He's got a big tower. Maybe the burst is going to work a little better here. We'll see how things play out towards the end game. Or last game, Queasy popping off like that, finding his little clutch frag. So like, all right, buddy, you can hold it. You're good.
Sales avert, 123 points, 9th on the overall leaderboard. They're not in a position where some of these other teams, you know, absolutely needing a victory royale, but you know, being under most of the totals we've seen, not only on NA, but different regions as well. They just need to push themselves just a little bit further. In theory, they could qualify off this game. They just need to place, you know, relatively top 8, top 5, something or so. So jump aboard Cat, Havoc, positioned up above. And the interesting thing about where they're sitting right now, Monster, this is where Muzz, Rise, Curly, and Tyler all stand to get their surge for the most part. Maybe a couple of those surrounding mountains. So with one team out of the lobby, another team is kind of taking their position on the map.
Yeah, definitely. We're at the canyon. Pretty strong spot, but look at this. Oliver OG's got this duo sitting right on top of him there.
Sneaky play. They got to leave. They're either going to shockwave off the top, leave themselves vulnerable to taking damage, or try to go further and further below their surge base, so that way you can have easier prod. But further and further down you go, you leave yourself open to Oliver OG and X-Pawn. But from the south side of the map, Sunken Shores, not too much of a journey for a lot of the teams down here, including Seek and Dash, 111 points. Just like yesterday, I feel like the chunk of the lobby is just so close. One mistake, one missed shot, you know, something like that could really cost you an easy trip to the grand finals.
Yeah, most definitely. Can't make any errors here. Grand finals, so close yet so far. For some, you know, they've had a little taste of what a strong set lobby like a finals looks like, and want to get back there. Let's see it though. Things are really settling in right now. It's almost like a reality check for a lot of these duos, as the pacing has really changed going into game 4. You know, normally these games start to pick up, right? Especially if it was a finals, but in a heats, everything slows down because the way the format works, anyone can still qualify off that victory royale. First time we're seeing Sapiro here getting into a fight with duo Melly. Looking good so far. Finds a couple tags here. He's got the momentum in his favor. ZW's a solo though. He's already lost his right-hand man. He's just gonna have to try to play his best here.
Yeah, against one of them at the bare minimum. He has a little bit of a health advantage. But that one's going to go right out the window in a 2v1 situation. They're going to have ample opportunity here to try to box up, heal up, so they don't have to worry about the possible one shot taking them down. And now they're going right back to work, knowing that he is going to be a solo. They're just trying to pressure into those box, make their way in, try to really catch him off guard in a 2v1. But there goes the first shot. That was a haymaker. Melly goes down. Oh, we almost seen a miracle happen here right before our very eyes.
And that, my friends, is why you never let your guard down. Anything can, of course, happen. And ZX almost clutched that one up. But in the end, a valiant effort nonetheless. Jumping with Veer and Aviv here. This is where you want to be coming into game 4. 121 points, a very strong day so far for them. They have a team hot on their heels, though, kind of chasing their rotate here. I'm wondering if that team is desperate for damage. It's actually Jason Liam. This is really, really scary. That's a good duo.
Yeah, that's not only a good duo. There might be some plans going down here because Liam and Veer were actually a duo monster. And get this, they won a divisional cup. But for some reason, Veer's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take my talents on over to Aviv. Liam went back to familiar territory with Jace. So this could be, I'm saying could, leave a question mark there, a situation where Liam's like, I'm getting my get back. You left me, and now I'm going to leave you in the dust.
Yeah, that is right. A lot of history there. Sharkman, Yuz on the other hand, leading with consistency so far. Really interesting. You see here, they've taken the most storm damage. Playing into their strat.
We're seeing teams actually kind of rotate down here. I think in a couple of games earlier, we've seen kind of the other side of this, the team that's positioned up top, using the mending machine, making sure the team down low, or any team for that matter, doesn't have access to it. And so now we're seeing Stacks and Slate kind of hunkered down underneath. If that team up above shows signs that they left, they may try to visit it, but it does look like they're going right back down low. Vexy goes right back up. Haris is like, you know what, maybe this isn't the decision. Let's go ahead and travel on the upside of the map.
Mirops on the other side, though, with QK. Highlighting their journey now, 116 points. All right. Little upgrade here as well. Talk about a sleeper duo, right? QK just kind of showing up, putting in the work so far. We've been here before. We've seen him continue to do well, sort of in these lower / heat stages. This is all good reps for him.
Now there's 633 above the damage threshold, whether it came from those two eliminations or, you know, just playing the game out, getting some surge around the map. You see they're just trying to go ahead and use those shock waves together, save some of those resources so that way they can push themselves further. Goes that replay of Marop. There goes that first shot. That first one kind of catches you off guard. And that's that new shotgun. It actually deals a good amount of damage from far away.
Yeah, it's got that little bit of range to carry the punch. Jump over though. What's happening over here? We have Chris and Drew on the move right now. Only 97 above, and then you see Virgo's nameplate in the distance here, playing the high ground now. That's a strong position to be in with how many teams are rotating right now. Hopefully they're finding the damage that they need. And finally, we get to see Brennan and Jordan's sky-based strategy. I did see or catch word that they might have griefed their own game at some point or another, where they fell a little early, and this time doesn't work either. Did they catch sickness? Were they too far out?
Oh, either way, man. For a moment there, I was thinking, Zeke always says, I'm never biased. I'm never biased. Well, guess what, Monster? I was about to be biased. I wanted to see the Sky Base win the game for a moment. Unfortunately, even my dreams get shut down there. But back to reality here with Miro and Mason underneath. It looks like they might have found elimination here, whole pile of loot, but now they're going to have to start their journey again on this next rotation, using a lot of those extra scraps, getting off the side of the mountain, so that way when they shockwave just like this, they have more of a clear path to rotate into. And I say that relatively loosely because clear would mean Shark and Yusman wouldn't be watching, but they are.
Yeah, you know, normally you want to carry that momentum, get a couple more bunny hops in there, but all good, no harm, no foul. Stay positioned up pretty close to the safe line where they want to get to. Victor V. Queasy catch a very excellent rotate here around the outsides. No resistance at all in sight. Got a big base put together here. They're going to be looking to reform back up. Not exactly positioned up with enough material to do something big for high ground, but obviously we wouldn't put it past them. We know what the strategy is at hand for this duo. Meanwhile, Aviv and Beer fall at 121 points there, Jacob. Tough spot to be in.
Dang, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's one of those spots where you go down, you kind of see where you're at in the leaderboard. Obviously, when this game is over and it starts to play those mental tricks on you, because in any standing, almost any heat that we've seen here on NA Central, dating back to Major 1, 120 is just simply not enough points to qualify out of the heat. So Vive and Beer are really going to come down to that last game. At least they still have two different opportunities at win conditions. A Shadow, Virgo. They probably either heard our comments or made comments to themselves. We need to start getting more surge. This is the first time we're seeing 1,000 above the threshold here today.
Yeah, very, very strong showing from them. It just seems like maybe a little bit unlucky in those first 3 games. You know, again, they didn't get completely shut out. They earned some points right here and there. But this end game is going to be absolutely monumental to the tournament standings for themselves. Meanwhile, Jason Liam have virtually done it. They've done so much already. 161, they're one of our point leaders in the tournament at the moment. All they need now is a little top 15, some extra placement points, and they should be very much into the finals.
Got Caden Seal up above, Shadow and Virgo lurking on a mid layer. Yuz and Sharkman all the way down below. Then you have Miro and Mason here just kind of peeking at the other edge of the zone, knowing teams are going to have to rotate into them. They didn't necessarily get the knock that they're looking for, but they're trying to reap that reward. Not sure if they're going to be able to find it or not, but only 186 above the damage threshold. As long as they don't get tagged up, they should not have to worry about Storm Surge from here on out.
Yeah, most definitely not. Really close to that cutoff here, but let's see what's going on up top. You have Caden Real Seal. Really interesting that this is the team that ends up positioning up. Seems like they just had full control of the tower here early, so taking full advantage of the zone pool. Meanwhile, saw a little glimpse there. Knight, another end game. He might be running up the points here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a last-second fall from them now as well, as they're making multiple end games.
Caden Seal, they do have good materials here, but it's still early. It's 8 zone, and look at where it's pulling. It's pulling decently far away, almost a max pull. So they have 2 choices here. Do you continue to try to hold, build this structure, or do you shockwave off and hope to take high ground later on in this next zone? Either way, we'll find out soon. Queasy, Victor V find a couple of knocks here. They're not going to wait for the zone. They're going to go ahead and try to continue to move forward. They think they have enough loot here that they don't have to make that risk to try to get the downs.
Yeah, and I was just going to make the comment. I was like, you know, when you saw Queasy and Victor holding high, they will early shock and then make those singular towers. So we're already seeing a little bit of a different strategy, possibly someone who doesn't have as much experience. But look at the down right there from Mason. So unfortunate. Another team that's in the running here. Looking up at the high ground, though, they go with the triple singular base build out. That's not the most sound structure, but for now it'll do as everyone's distracted down low. Seals or Sales invert here, making another end game right now. This is where the real placement points are going to start to add up.
Yeah, top 25 is when you start to get some of those placement points. Top 10 is where you get half of the placement points.
Back
then
over
of the
the
top
water.
5, that's where the real meat and the potatoes are at, and that's where you want to see a lot of these teams start to make that stride. So we jump back on board Queasy and Victor V, 171. Really nothing to worry about here. Just 4 more points and they would reach the highest total in any heat stage so far this year on NA Central. So they really have nothing to lose here. As Queasy and Victor V have a chance here. Full team boxed up, 1 down. That one's going to be easy. Second elimination gets cleaned up, and that's Queasy with all 3 so far in this game.
Yeah, Queasy really putting in the effort right now to find the elims, and things are starting to add up. And we called for 4 elims. They got 4 points. It's working out very well, but look at this. Taki Seek right now, 135, starting to really run their way back up into the tournament as well. Seal, Cade get a little bit of a lucky break here as the zone kind of bounces back and forth, so they're fully structured on both sides here. They seem to have just enough mass to keep pushing it. Shadow, this is the worst spot to be in right now, a solo, but top 15, nearing top 10, and we already knew that they needed a huge game here. I'm thinking, Jacob, if they can't break towards that 100-point range,
Dang, Queasy went
it might
down.
be out of the question to ask for consistency.
I gotta agree with you there. So there's a lot of pressure on Shadow. Not as much as Victor V, even though they're both in solo situations. Jace having to scramble around, taking a big shot, dropped to 67 HP, but a little bit more than Liam. They do have some chug, some big pots, but they have to figure out a way to get out of this chaos. Survivability is going out the window, especially with one of them being dropped.
Sales invert on the low ground though, gets hit with a huge shot from the outside of the storm there. A 180 backup from Vert though to give them a little bit of a break, forcing Clipper to get up on another layer. Meanwhile, Victor V's got Shadow in his sights, and Victor's with his Shadow's success here.
Dang, Shadow has some
just
good
like
stuff.
Shadow getting closer and closer to have 2 potential qual conditions. He still has to push it a little bit further, but this is the clutch we've been looking for from Shadow all day long. I saw the little sneaky comments coming out, people possibly blaming Shadow, saying, hey, we need him to do a little bit more, but right now he's making up for all of it. Meanwhile, Jace is playing absolutely insane right now. And on they go. Shadow gets another elimination onto Jace there. Very well played.
Yeah, keeping himself climbing up that leaderboard for sure. And we really saw the impact, the difference of the Maven versus the Striker. Obviously helps that it's with a Mythic, but Victor V missing those shots, giving Shadow an opportunity. And so far, Monster, you got what you wanted. They are still alive, looking for more points, but they're past that triple digits. Shadow's now going to have to run into all duos left in this game. He's the only solo, but for Yuz and Sharkman, if they find a way to win this game, Monster, that alleviates pressure on the leaderboard. It pushes everything up here for them. They just got to be able to pull it off, and it's definitely looking bleak as they're running low on materials.
Yeah, and then think about it, right? Coming into the game, you have like 48 points, a hero's effort to get up 60 off of consistency.
5 people left.
This is not easy to ask for, so to qual off consistency, they will have to do it again. But Shadow is really pushing the pace here. He's earned himself a little bit more. Can he just squeeze out a elimination or 2 here? That would be insane and incredible nonetheless, but he's working. He's doing the work. Big tags here, nothing just yet, but somehow he's still alive here. Finally, the team on the low ground makes the edit. Down he goes. Cade and Real trying to finish the deal here.
Yep, right now with 80 points, a win is exactly what they needed.
Oh yeah.
Looks like they're in a 2v1 situation. They have Taki there down below, scrambling around, just trying to stay alive. They're taking multiple angles. They clean up the first, and they get the second elimination. Cade and Seal are our newest team to punch their ticket to the Major 2 Grand Finals.
There's always that one team that comes up out of nowhere, that one team that needed it, that was too low on the standings, that then finds their, Cinderella story, if you will. And just like that, it's going to be for Cade and Real Seal here. Zeke, what a game.
Okay, so remember when I said anything in Fortnite can happen, anything will happen. I want to frame this before they do it here. Cade and Seal, coming into this game, the second to last game of Heat 2, they were 41st. They had 6 points, okay? They literally, it was impossible. The only option to continue this FNCS dream was the Victory Royale. And Kelly, Fortnite do what Fortnite do. And here we are. We are going to finals off of a Victory Royale.
I mean, Cade and Really Seal, just looking at their stats right now, they have actually been playing together since the start of the season. But for every single Div Cup that they've qualified for, they have never made it to the finals. They've actually made it to 53rd in the last Div Cup of the season. And they have no FNCS Grand Finals appearances between the two of them. So for them to come out on top, be able to take it away from some big established names in NAC, we talked about it at the start of the show, being in the heats, there's just opportunities for newer teams to break through, and that's exactly what we got to see from Cade and Really Seal.
You can see them up on the high ground right here. They just had control over it for the entirety of the end game for what it kind of felt like. I thought we were actually going to start to go ahead and contest it after we watched kind of game number 3. As we do get later and later into these Heat games, usually more and more teams kind of feel the pressure. They know that they have to go for the win, so the high ground starts to get a little bit contested, but that wasn't going to be the theme here in game number 4. They were kind of left to do whatever they wanted up there on the high ground. They took full advantage of that. They had a big smile on their faces, and like Kelly mentioned, going to an FNCS Grand Finals for the first time off of a win.
One more game left.
Good. Absolutely, right? This is that opportunity, right? Sometimes this is all it takes, a Victory Royale. Sometimes it's consistency, but now they have to do all the prep in the world. Their first finals. We'll have to talk about that more next weekend when we get there, but for now, a break because we are on the final game of Heat number 2. It's about to get weird. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
I'll go here. I'm popping in that bit. Wait, short. Got 6 builds? No, max up. Wait, if you're mid, wait. 100! 100! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Milk can help you grow.
Good old milk, man.
Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
We are. Last game, Heat number 2, one last ride, one last opportunity to make something happen to make sure we can make it to the finals of Major 2 next weekend. Friends, we got to turn attention to the leaderboard. So in case you're just tuning in, you have no idea what we're doing here. Very simple. If we get a victory royale, we ought to qualify for finals next weekend. Great, everything's awesome. Or we need to hit the leaderboard and be the top 10 through consistency, which when you look at the leaderboard, it's basically just look at it as like the top 15. If they're the top 15, that's our top 10. Let's take a look together. In first place, currently at a tie, we've got Yuz and Sharkman and Liam and Jace. Both duos have been performing very well, I should say, here in Heat number 2. Both, again, we kind of joked earlier on. Really only Yuz and Sharkman have had kind of one game outside, like their worst place was 16th place, which, I mean, Kelly, that's really not that bad considering, but right now both duos are performing very, very well.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of teams right now that are kind of performing, but for me, I'm not really looking at the top. I'm kind of looking to the bottom and definitely in that cusp of like around the 15th place. But for right now, I want to look at 10th place, Sales and Vert. Vert, a long time competitor, but hasn't really been able to find their footing for a minute as far as the grand finals go. But currently sitting at 10th place, I don't know if they can feel too confident just yet. But after that last game we saw where they were able to make it all the way into the end game, getting around around, what, I think it was 7th place in this game with 4 eliminations as well. That's good. I mean, they've been kind of making it to the end game every single time, able to grab a handful of eliminations when they do. And obviously having the double mythic is going to set themselves up well. But that water zone was definitely rough for a lot of our low ground teams, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think their points should be looking pretty comfortable. We will actually take a look at the bubble here in quite a bit to see what those points are actually looking like here. And as you can see, in 15th place, like Z kind of called out, we are only at 121 points. So you kind of imagine, you can see that gap between 11th and 12th place. That's where we're kind of seeing a big disparity of almost 40 points right there just between those two placements. So yeah, that threshold right now is quite low, but that being said, it could jump up to, like I would imagine, 140, 150 points. So our teams do have to be on alert, but oh my gosh, take a look at this, up 11 placements right there. Shadow and Virgo have finally joined us on at least the 2nd page. Prior to this game, you had to scroll all the way to the 3rd page because they had not actually gotten a game where they even gotten to the top 10. But after a solo clutch from Shadow, as you can do see, unfortunately for Virgo, he went down in 21st place. But Shadow put up an incredible effort to kind of keep it alive for the duo. A 3rd place with 4 eliminations. Incredible effort from Shadow, but the job is not finished because they have 110 points. They're in 17th place. Still a lot of work to be done.
The turning point for me in that game was definitely Shadow getting elimination on Victor V. It was like this moment where it was just a 1v1. No one else was really paying attention, and allowing them for Shadow versus Victor V. And then to be able to get the mythic pistol that Victor V is known to be holding, carrying that into the end game, allowing him to just survive that much longer. You got to think, that might have been a little bit of luck for him, but it's Shadow and Virgo. They've been proving this season that they can definitely bring their A game. They can compete with the very best. So you know, Vivid, let's be honest, it's a little bit of a surprise to see them performing at this level when we've been seeing and hearing, especially from Virgo, how well they've been recently.
Yep, for a bunch of our teams, the kind of approach to this last game will be a win and you're in. But I feel like there's a giant team kind of standing in their way, Queasy and Victor V. What's kind of like the easiest way? What is the most known way to go ahead and win these end games? It's of course going to be the high ground. And with Queasy and Victor V not yet winning the game, they're going to be in game number 5. And you gotta imagine these guys are going to want to go up and contest the high ground. This is what they're going to be doing. This is what they're most comfortable with. And it could spell to be spoiler for any of our teams that are trying to clutch up, trying to win game number 5. So keep your eyes peeled, keep them focused on the high ground here in the last game, because I think we're finally going to see a chaotic game.
I think so, Viv. The last game always goes like this, right? It's going to be everyone jumping into boxes, getting eliminations as much as they can. But don't forget, keep this in the back of your mind. A couple things. 121 points is currently that top 10, right? That's going to go up, obviously. But also remember, if someone in the top 10 gets a victory out, that's going to pull everyone up a whole placement. So listen, if you're a duo out there and you're trying to make it in right now, don't give up. Fight to the very end of this thing, because it could be you outside of the bubble getting a victory out, finding yourself in finals next weekend. Fortnite fam, buckle up! This is the last game. Casters, take it away.
That's right, and I couldn't help but think, Jacob, that the last team that won, that desperately needed it, only makes consistency that much more difficult. You know, usually you want the teams with big points to just push ahead and secure a victory royale.
Yeah, so honestly, looking into this one, there's no exact total number of points. I know there's estimates out there, but the easiest thing you can do, let's make it sound easier than it actually is, but it's just simply win a game. Like you said, there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, early game fights, because players want to try to close the gap with eliminations, but will it work out? The last game of the day is ready, so let's jump right into it.
Game number 5 is here. This is it, the
last game.
Opportunities to punch your way through. We still have teams like Shadow, Virgo, Mason and Miro, Cole and Madden, right? All of these other teams that, of course, that are outside of the bubble, so close, looking in, that need to pull through with a monstrous game. For Blue and Maji, I mean, they've already proven to us they want to take this fight all the way through to the very end, and they do it just like that. This time they are the winning duo, but had they not dropped the ball last game, they could have been easily in the conversation right now, given that they already had 60 points.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it seem unrealistic, but a second place monster with a certain number of eliminations could, in theory, still qualify them to the grand finals. But I think the team we're all looking at right now, Shadow and Virgo, they're right there. They've climbed their way back, but they are outside of that bubble. And you got to imagine the implications of a team like Shadow and Virgo not making it into the grand finals, or at least being able to claim their spot this early, because there is the last chance qualifier. That means a Heatwave Harbor, one of the best drop spots on the map, will then open up.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up 70 points in that last game. Just talk about a hero's effort. And then to ask them to basically do it again, it's not a simple task by any means, going back-to-back so consistently, but you're that skilled. It is expected of you. For Chris right now, he's clearly the better team as far as how they played on the day. However, anything can happen. He's already got a teammate down. Louis and Ramp here have found themselves with no shield in a bit of a situation here. Do they kind of put their pride aside and back out, or do they allow Chris to possibly win this fight? Then you have SRG's duo sitting outside listening to what's happening. Chris catches a little glimpse. He knows he's got to move, and then they get caught in between. This is terrible.
How many times so far this weekend? It's only been 2 days. Have we seen this situation save games? Chris drew around 120 points. It almost looked like an unwinnable situation, but thanks to Sleaze and Vin, they went ahead, disrupted that fight, and gave him a chance to survive. And you got to realize, Louis and Krampus, that was a team we saw fighting a different contested fight, a little bit more south on the map. They were winning that fight. They just weren't able to convert it into actual good scoring games. And now, with their backs up against the wall, they went ahead and took on Sinister Strip, and they find themselves in a very peculiar situation here.
I think they just had the reality check, like, wait a second, this is not just a single team dynamic at play here. There are clearly other forces at play. Pretty tough spot to be in, but now if you're Chris, you're pretty happy, right? He's got the reboot card. He can kind of chill out here. Makes sense that he's not overbuilding. He saw that only a single player was eliminated. Even now, he's kind of inching his way in, not exactly trusting anything.
I think he was paying as close attention to that elimination feed as us. Possibly only seeing one of them go down, but he just gets a little bit too lackadaisy. Drops his guard for a second. Krampus hits the shield-breaking shot. And again, they're not the only two here. There's that third-party duo that's still in and around Sinister Strip. If you hear those shots fire off, it's only for a short moment, but you at least get the clue that somebody's still here.
That's
oh, no. Chris got spotted out. He was trying to be low-key there. But Sleaze heard the shot from Krampus, and now they double back. It's probably going to be everyone's demise, to be honest. Take a look at Stars here. Tank. Seen some fair bit of action from them today. Nice little play by him. Just getting up and over. Tank gets his one here. See if he catches the edit. Nice little window peek there.
They were looking good up until a certain point. Getting contested off spawn kind of does some strange things. As you jump on board X-Pawn, Oliver OG yet again taking down the boss, grabbing the mythic burst rifle, but with only 78 points right now. They have a scenario where they do win without a win, or get into the grand finals, I should say. As X-Pawn, we saw his first elimination there. You're seeing how they were picking up some early game points and some early game damage. But it's just one of those situations, second place, probably needing 10 eliminations after that. So why not just go for a win at that point?
I was going to say, I need to know who the belly boss is, because he's moving right now.
X-Pawn.
X-Pawn, okay. Very well played for him. Yeah, he's in Boogie right now. I've already seen Jer on the unfortunate side of the clip last round. Now you got Barney and City kind of rolling up here on the outskirts. This can go either which way right now. Oh, Weez might have spotted them. Not too sure, actually.
Oh, they did. Look at the way Boogie's looking over. Look at the way Weez is just trying to go over and get him. You are hitting the nail on the head. Maybe he did it there, but he builds at the last second, not to take too much damage. So either way, it is going to be a moot point because the altercation is going to happen regardless, as Barney takes most of that damage. Shield gone, HP now on a clock because they are in zone. It might be one tick per, but that is enough to start to make desperation happen.
I think they're going to be happy with that damage, though. Look how Boogie and Weez kind of slow down here. Obviously, they don't want to let Vexy and Jers kind of swing back around and third party them, but they definitely got the best of the tags here, and yeah, realistically, you could just back off of that. Look, now Vexy's got a problem of their own. They can decide if they want to take this fight with Barney.
Again, third parties causing enough disruption. Where Vexy and Jerry's, they were on the low ground, kind of getting smushed, options being taken away. But because of that, kind of frees up all three of those teams, realistically, all going their separate ways, trying to continue on. Hopefully they landed enough Storm Surge so we don't have to worry about it as much as we jump on board Queasy, Victor V, quickly making their way on down from their actual drop spot. They see where the zone is pulling, and they're just trying to beat a lot of the other teams to the punch.
Yeah, they've already done enough. 195 points for this team here. No elims just yet this game. Somehow find themselves down by the canyon, so often to kind of rotate wide and strong. Curious if this worked out for them, though, as far as the overall damage accumulated. See a lot of builds here, so clearly there have been a fair amount of activity in the vicinity. Looking at the feed, Boone dropping Seek there. I do think Seek was looking pretty strong on the leaderboard. We'll give that a quick refresh. Yeah, Seek and Taki were ninth, so coming into this, they did have 190 points. If they get shut out early, though, you never really know, right? 3, 4 other teams jump up, and all of a sudden, you have quite the problem.
I mean, I've seen stranger things happen for sure. Just looking at the feed, Madden, Krampus, Z all going down here. As we saw a tank kind of early on rid a team away from this actual location. Don't see him anymore. Stars just trying to circle back, but you can kind of see Quick and his duo just trying to take advantage of their positioning now. Hit that mending machine one more time before they eventually rotate on out. Speak of himself, Tank, you can kind of see, just walked into the trap. They were the ones that kind of cleared this POI, but another team rotating in, it just makes it just as dangerous.
It's actually crazy how often that happens. Teams just kind of pulling up without you expecting it, and it just works. Right building every time.
.94 points so far. Miro and Mason. Currently sitting, I believe, around, I want to say around 14th or so, maybe just outside of the bubble.
18th.
So definitely 18th, even more so as harsh. Even though the gap is decently close, what a 30-point swing is all it really takes, but with everybody kind of vying for it, even someone like Queasy and Victor V ending another FNCS heat run here, nothing is going to go easy, especially once we get into these later zones. Once we get into the 6th zone, 7th zone, halfway through the game, where you can't just go back in and try to get any bit of scraps that are left behind.
Yeah, the alternative, I mean, you're asking, 10 plus eliminations and outplacing your opponents in order to close the gaps. It's going to take a real huge effort into this last game here. And so far, sitting based up like that is not exactly what we want to see, but we all know the easiest elims come obviously towards the end game. Take a look at this. We were just talking about how Seek was down and out. Taki's at the reboot van. Now again, in theory, these guys are pretty safe, right? 191 points. They've got themselves a nice cushion. There's a 20-point gap between them, Sales, and Furt, right? Essentially, so they have quite some room to work with.
Especially now that Seek is back in the game. Kind of helps Monster that Seek and Taki do land Sunken Shores uncontested. They know the likelihood of somebody else being here kind of slim to none unless they kind of need any bit of those scraps, especially more so the zone pulling towards the north. But another team just outside of that bubble, Oreo and a Rogue, just using those campfires, man-made on the map, add to their advantage, saving those medkits, saving the chug jugs for later on in this game. And if you're one of those teams that, knows where every campfire is at, every mending machine, you're kind of better off than some of those teams that don't even try to go for it.
Jumping in with Liam and Jace here. They've been fired up all day. Last game, another great performance for Jace. Let's see how this duo's going to play this one out here. Actually entertaining the fight right now. Acro And percent right now, 92 points. They're not out of the race just yet, but shoot, you start messing around with the Hornet's Nest, this is going to be a tough one.
Especially since both of these teams realize, hey, we're in a tunnel right now. Acro percent can easily kind of backtrack, exit out that tunnel, shockwave over the top. You have teams like Liam and Jace waiting for that up above. So it's not going to be easy for either one of these teams to really kind of make that decision, figure out which way they want to end up, especially with the zone pulling out. Even if they're above that damage threshold, a far pull like that can instantly lead them to taking some early shots. As Mason and Miro quickly have made their way towards the north from their actual drop spot. I'm talking about Seek and Taki, uncontested Sunken Shores. They have a little bit of a split drop just north of that.
And split drops are definitely in the hot right now. Let's see what Mason's looking for, though. Just any kind of tags here. You know, they've had some back and forth issues with Surge. Some games it's a non-factor. Others it's a bit of a problem. Last round, obviously, it's a bit of a bad one for them. Getting with Jason Liam, we talk about the Acro and Percent team trying to move out. They still haven't given them the time of day here, but they've at least gotten out the tunnel for now.
And that Percent them on the other side.
Look who's in the tunnel right now. It's actually the base building high ground team of Jordan and Brennan down there, or Sky Basers.
My new favorite team in Fortnite history, but Jace might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. He's going to go down. Big shot by Acro there, but he falls down that tunnel. I think it was into his teammate's hand, so Liam for now is going to be stuck by himself. Pressure for both sides, trying to hold the ball, firing back onto Percent. Quickly baits in a shot by editing and resetting that one. He knows Jace is going to go down. No chance for actual revive. He's stuck going for the reboot, but there's just a good amount of damage onto both Acro and Percent. Damage that they can't necessarily heal up.
No way. I'm just thinking how they're about to deliver themselves possibly into Brennan down here. We saw them down in the bottom. These teams are all lit up, but no, they actually ended up disengaging and moving out. Oh man, if they just stuck around a little bit longer, they would have gotten free loot to go and build whatever crazy bases they're up to, but we'll just have to see if it ends up working out here. How crazy would that be if, like, Shadow and Virgo are about to win or something, but then you look up and it's Brennan, like, in the end game healing in the sky base?
I mean, I would be happy because right now I realize they're my new favorite team in Fortnite history. If you're brave enough to go for a sky base, because you know me, Monster, we're talking about it during the break. I'm a little sky base aficionado myself. I know a thing or two, so I know what kind of struggles they're going through. If they could somehow pull it off, they would definitely deserve it. Just like Aviv and Veer, brave enough to kind of make that roster change here. And they're one of few teams that have not taken too much Storm Surge damage, even though they have gone down in a few of the games early. It usually means that they're just kind of playing this very solid and sound game. Now, they just basically need the bare minimum. Outplace the teams that are below you on the leaderboard, and you should be fine.
Oh, this is pretty tough. Victor, Queasy, late out the storm. Acro and Percent see this as a sign of weakness. They want to take the fight, but Liam has also just been here as well. Clearly, he doesn't want to give it up. And now Victor and Queasy have a decision to make. I mean, they could go for the positioning. Yeah, they just want to go and do that. Play what's best. Taking this game as seriously as possible, so off they go. Percent catches Liam, but loses Acro in the mix, 22 below. He's gonna have to, yeah, I was gonna say, he's gonna have to leave him to try to find tags here.
Yeah, he can't waste all that time. Ooh. I'm not sure if he was the one that caught those shots. As you mentioned out Shadow, you see his shield get cracked, kind of go right out the window. Queasy and Victor V, see this game? They're above that damage threshold yet again. But you can see when they're loadout, one big pot, a chug that's already used, one shockwave, and then Queasy, he doesn't even have shockwaves. He has the boots to try to use that as mobility. So even though it seems like they're faring well in terms of Storm Surge, overall, you can see that they've hit some speed bumps in their road.
Definitely not looking like the most streamlined game by any means, but look at this. Percent waits for the storm to force him out. He's 250 below. He will have to take a fight here. He's got 3 shockwaves though, and the clock is ticking, so his best odds now, get max HP like he's doing here, and then try to find the fight that he can win.
Yep, he knows this one's not going to be easy though. Just trying to get a 200 effective shield and HP. Roughly 17 seconds Storm Surge can begin to turn on here. 274 below the damage threshold. He needs more than one full HP elimination here. And every time he tries to peek and go for it, it just gets worse and worse, diving deeper below that damage threshold, 400 plus. And now it's an all or nothing play. Good damage onto Kodak, but Avenger is there. And he avenges his teammate nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, they saw him as a solo as well.
It's getting real, man.
Raiden was on the wall for that one. Quick pickup for them. Plays out well. Avarsky here. Ian Quick trying to set themselves up. We have the south zone pool now, so the markers are starting to come out. This is where most of the lobby's at too, so this is a bounce back. There's going to be a lot of old builds here, a lot of pre-established structures. Teams that are there can already start deciding if they want to be a high ground team. Now's the time to do it. Then you have Victor and Queasy. It's going to have to make the rotate. Miro and Mason, who have to play potentially for the Victory Royale, like we talked about. If they don't end up with like 10 plus elims, they basically need a win.
It's definitely going to be tough, but at least they're handling the surge well and just kind of looking at where the zone is going. I'm not throwing up any red flags or alarms just yet, but if we continue to move towards the south of where we're at now, there's a huge mountain that starts to become into play. And this is where map knowledge becomes a thing for a lot of these teams, because if it does start to show it's moving in that favor, you start to think about a different plan of rotation. Shadow and Virgo, just like you mentioned, Miro and Mason, a very, very same boat. A little bit higher up on that leaderboard, 110 points, but they cannot have any mistakes. Top 25 here. They played so long in this lobby, and placement points are about to set in, so they just need to stay alive just long enough to overpass some of these teams that are above them on the leaderboard.
Yeah, you're saying like they're right there in points, but really not by much. They're only a couple elims ahead of the pack. Take a look here, though. You can see they're being pretty passive right now. No lines of sights on any teams really here. Meanwhile, Aviv and Veer right now trying to get situated here as they're breaking their way through the base, looking for a little bit more elevation so they can get their rotate going. Here comes the Edit. Here comes the Storm. Off they go. Veer, Aviv, one of our teams fighting for consistency right now. 128 points. Meanwhile, who's up top? We have Crazy trying to play for the win here. This is what the format really rewards you for. Taking the risk, though.
And we do pour towards the south. This is the mountain that I was talking about. Hey, if you're going to qualify in Game 5, Fortnite said we are not making it easy on anyone. Even more so, Exhale, his teammate Crazy up above. You can see, even though they have high ground, it's the resource that they're lacking. No extra shields to heal up. So it's all fine and dandy now, but hopefully they don't become contested here. Shadow and Virgo going for elimination down below. That's Miro and Mason. Both of these teams fighting for a spot in the grand finals here. And the winner of this fight could find themselves in that seat. But right now, Miro and Mason doing just enough to escape what could have been disaster.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, that's the perfect type of team to take out, right? The guys that are on your heels, and then you start knocking down the ones that are right above you. Let's see how it ends up playing out. Things are getting really interesting now. This is where the game.
Dang, the people on high ground don't have a whole lot of health.
For Miro, for Mason, they have no more heals. They've exhausted it all. They barely have any extra mats. Virgo's gonna finally find another elimination, and Shadow finds one onto Queasy, but that means Victor V's nearby. There goes a huge shot. Shadow's already done it once before. He puts a punishing amount of damage down, but he is forced to clutch this one out by himself once again.
Doesn't really have shockwaves either. Monster, he only has a shotgun in his inventory, essentially probably relying on full heal off scenario if it does come down to it. Exhale loses Crazy. We talked about the lack of resources for them. This one is going haywire right now. This is chaos at its finest, and right now I think whoever has the most experience might be able to thrive in it. Miro, Mason, we saw them banging on death's door there for a moment. They survived it, and now they're pulling through. Quick goes for the mending machine, but he gets taken down by Chimp. That's 3 more points for them, pushing them further and further as Miro and Mason are now going for the high ground.
Of course they are. They know what they need. They know what's at stake here. They have to win the game. Mason leading the charge here, pushing through, taking what he's learned from Miro. Get in the box and do what you have to do. But Miro stays a little too long in the storm. Now leaves Mason by himself. Mason forces a dump back in, but he's only got 50 to heal with here.
I don't think they win.
Shockwaves to get down. This might have been a death sentence. He has to find a little siphon. A couple of mats are going to get him straight to the safe zone. He takes a little bit of fall damage. It's going to be a tough one. Meanwhile, Oreo, he's only 146 alongside Nerves and Rogue there. Oh no, but he gets knocked too. This is a really tough spot to be in.
Yep, 20 and Chimp. They're the ones that
Dude,
are
there's still
laughing
so many
right now,
people
smiling
alive.
ear to ear, full HP, perfect scenario for them. But Mason is still alive, 130, trying to clutch it out. Rogue, same thing, much higher up on the leaderboard from up the side of the mountain. Mason needs to play this one perfect. He cannot take any more damage.
Ah, jeez.
There goes one tick and two. Mason and Miro have just been eliminated out of this game. They're probably hoping for somebody already inside of the bubble to win now.
What is going on?
Dang, Oliver.
Meanwhile, all eyes on everyone else, and then you have X-Pawn and Oliver.
Oh
Lee
my
just
gosh.
nearby.
The sky base.
Whether or
No
not
way.
This could be a potential situation.
That's
Gotta be though,
crazy.
Jacob. Only Brennan's got some, and look at the masterpiece they put together.
Dreams do come true, Monster. 20's even down. This was one of the strongest teams left in this lobby. Oliver OG and X.
Imagine the Skybase team
The thing
wins.
that's going to get hard for Jordan and Brennan up above is they don't have HP. If this how goes to a heal off, there's not going to be much, and that's a sacrifice for Jordan. He realized they ran out of mats, and that is a team play right there.
He's so smart. He's so smart. This Siphon Mats, and look at him build, trying to get ahead, editing his builds, making the perfect little ramp to work with. Meanwhile, Oliver OG and Belly are probably thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, we can win this game. And in fact, they still can. But reality is going to set in when all these teams fight, that there might still be someone left, and it's Brennan with a med kit.
And right now, if you look at the inventory, it almost seems
This
like
is
Oliver OG
crazy.
is going to be the one playing heal off. There is no Shockwave to create distance. Being the only duo, they have to use the numbers to their advantage. Big elimination there, but as Shari's just going down all alone, Shockwave being sent down, trying to burst them outside of the zone, and they get yet another elimination. Oliver OG right now with X-Pawn are on the cusp of qualifying through two
This is
different
crazy.
scenarios. Even if Brennan wins, they might have enough points, or they could get the victory royale. Brennan shockwaving off the top, using the med kit to get HP. 1v2 situation right now against X-Pawn and Oliver OG, and it's
Dang.
not going to work. OG himself clutches up the last game of the day.
I was holding my breath.
That was
I'm just thinking to
crazy.
myself, oh my gosh, he might just do it. What a game. That was still exciting nonetheless. And our good friends, Oliver OG, makes his way to a grand finals alongside X-Pawn Zeke. What a fun way to close this one out.
MDF, I thought.
Alrighty.
Oh, Fortnite is a fun
I'm
game.
out. I've been
Fortnite
having
is a
some
very
internet
fun
problems, so I'm
game.
gonna see what's
I
going
cannot
on.
believe it. Shout outs, obviously,
Is it the board?
Jordan there, Brennan. They were in 47th place, so that was their
hopefully.
one shot. They took the swing.
My
Unfortunately,
internet's
it
been
missed
like,
based
I've
on
been
everything
just
that kinda
dropping
led up into
frames
that
like this
moment.
whole
But hey,
entire
I gotta
day so far,
applaud
so
the attempt.
I don't know what's going
Oliver
on. I'm
OG,
gonna reset
X-Pawn,
my
they
internet
go through,
and
Kelly. They were in
chill for a little bit and
24th place. They had
hopefully I'll be on.
72 points, Kelly. They needed this. If they did not get this victory royale, it was wraps.
All right,
And you
chat.
know that the whole community is so excited to see
Peace. I'm
Oliver
out.
OG up there.